Series against the Pirates. For the Orioles, if they can win, they're going to gain ground on somebody in the American League East. These two teams, far removed from 1971, 7 games World Series. Pirates won that one. But this is a new generation. New players, new odds, new goals. It's the Orioles on Masson, and we welcome you to Birdland Interleague play. A short 2-game set. The Pittsburgh Pirates in town against the Orioles on a 3-scoop evening here in Baltimore. It is beautiful. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thornton. Welcome. Great to have you with us. For the Orioles, it's always a chance to gain ground. You play these interleague games, and you've got the Yankees and the Red Sox playing against one another. So you're going to gain ground on somebody if you can pick up the wins against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Orioles will try. It always goes back to starting pitching. Where are the Orioles in that regard? Well, overall, they are 13th in ERA for their starters. They've given up more walks per 9 innings than anybody, and their hits per 9 innings also 14th. But the question is it getting turned around? If you take a look over the last 5 starts, the numbers are much better. ERA down, the run support up, the opponent batting average down, and the pitchers per 9 innings, which allows those starters to stay on, has also dropped, and they're not surrendering the home runs. So the hope is, Mike Bordick, what we're seeing last time through the rotation can be repeated. Yeah, that is obviously the goal. It's nice to see the offense staying consistent as well. Of course, this Orioles team plays so much better in front of their home crowd here at Camden Yards, but it's nice to see the rotation, I think, as a whole starting to come around. Chris Tillman's fastball velocity ticked up a little bit in his last start, so that was encouraging. Of course, Wade Miley, 7 strong innings. He's pitched very well since the onset of this season. Dylan Bundy, he and Dylan Bundy have been really the horses at the top. It's kind of been Gosman's been the question mark, but he's looked really good here recently. His fastball command's been much better, so that too is encouraging. And how about Alec Asher sliding into the 5th spot? Looked really good in his last outing. So yeah, it's trending up for sure. And the fact that there's some Orioles hot bats that have kept that run support average up, I think they should feel positive. Interesting game tonight. Kevin Gosman will be on the mound against a Pirate team that does not hit home runs, but they do draw a lot of walks. They're a non-traditional team in the sense of today's baseball clubs. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're having a hard time driving the runs in. That seems to be the problem. They're getting guys on base for sure, drawing those walks. So Kevin Gosman's got to stay aggressive. He's got to stay aggressive with his fastball in the strike zone. He's got to pitch to early contact. I hope he can keep that pitch count down throughout the ball game, get a little bit deeper. He's been a little susceptible to a big inning here. Every now and then he'll give up a crooked number that really hurts him as far as pitch efficiency goes. So he's got to stay aggressive in the zone and move his fastball around. Well, it comes down to fastball command. And for the Oriole hitters, they'll take a look at Ivan Nova, who throws nothing but strikes. I mean, you come to the plate against this guy, you better be ready to swing the bat, because he's not going to walk you, and he's not going to throw many out of the strike zone. Yeah, and he's aggressive with his fastball. I mean, he throws over 70% fastball. So the Orioles, they have to have that aggressive approach up there tonight, and I think they're going to be geared up. He's a familiar character. You know, they faced him 17, 16 times, I think, in a career when he was with the Yankees, and they had some really good outings against him. Actually, big-time numbers. Of course, Nova had some pretty good starts against the Orioles as well. So it's who you're going to get. Of course, Nova's riding a hot hand right now, aggressive in the zone and feeling confident. I think that's the key. Ruben Tejada's the newest member of the Orioles. Paul Janisch was sent down, designated for assignment. The Oriole hope that he clears waivers and they'll be able to get him back to Norfolk. So Tejada's on hand. Buck Showalter just said today that's the guy that the organization felt would do the most good right now for the Orioles off the bench, because Buck really wanted to increase the strength on the bench, have a guy who could field. No question Janisch could do that, but perhaps Tejada's got a little bit better bat. Yeah, I think that must be it, because I know the organization loved Janisch. They loved his defense. I think they might be losing a little bit with the bat, needing a little offensive threat or a thump, and maybe a guy that can go first to third, maybe steal a base on occasion, just to solidify it, I think, at the end, if Buck needs a pinch runner or so. And Ryan Flaherty continues out. In fact, he's not throwing yet, and so the Orioles a little concerned that if they didn't get somebody else to fill that role that could give them a bat off the bench, that Ryan Flaherty wasn't going to be getting back in time, maybe to help him out in some important key situations. And I think that was a consideration in making the move.
Yeah, probably the biggest consideration, actually. You know, Ryan Flaherty, we think about his versatility and the fact that he could play outfield and infield, but his bat is missed. That's a big bat in the lineup. Lefty off the bench. Not too many teams have that. Of course, Tejada's not a lefty, but I think he may bring a little bit more spark offensively, a little bit more speed. He's put up some numbers and had some experience at the major league level, and he's a young guy.
Interesting that these two teams are both 3.5 games out of first place, but the Pirates are in last place and the Orioles aren't. And it's just because in the National League Central for Clint Hurdle's ball club, they're in it because nobody, including the Chicago Cubs, seems to want to take over.
Right. Well, the Chicago Cubs just recently got hot, but yeah, they've been suffering from that, World Series hangover, I think, for the first couple months of the season. And the Brewers put a little charge in there, but nobody wants to run away with it. Yeah, so the Pirates are still hanging on. They're familiar with the postseason, so you know that Clint Hurdle's going to have his team fired up and ready to go.
Yeah, they've been playing some pretty good baseball of late. All right, the Orioles ready to take the field, and we are ready to give you some baseball. When we come back, 1st to 2 interleague play, the Pirates and the Orioles. We'll check the lineups and first pitch coming up. Ball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by John Hopkins Orthopedics, serving the community for over 125 years. Gorgeous day here in the Baltimore area and a very pretty night. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? A very comfortable 75 degrees, a few high clouds floating around, a little bit of a breeze blowing out towards left field. The humidity down there at 42%. Take a look at the starting lineup for these Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. It'll be Frazier, Harrison, and Polanco, Freese, Bell, and McCutchen, Jaso, Cervelli, and Mercer. For George Harrison, he has had a tremendous season on the road overall as well, but big numbers away from home.
Yeah, let's take a look at Kevin Gosman's scouting report tonight. Sharp cheese, it has been getting better. Yeah, his fastball command Starting to locate much better on the glove side. It was a problem early on. Getting more consistent. He's got to stay aggressive. This is a patient Pirates team. Got to stay in the zone. His last start, 5 walks against the Yankees, but still ended up pitching over 5 innings. Throw strikes, they can put it in play, but he has been hot at home too. 2-0 with a 2.95 in his last 3 starts, so certainly starting to settle in. Confidence building as he lowers that earned run average. Now down to 5.92. 42 punch-outs for Gausman in 5.59 in the 3rd innings of work. The opponent batting average still way up there, 325 overall. And look at the righties, 370 batting average, giving up 10 long balls this season as well. He needs that number to come down dramatically.
A number against the righties, the 2nd highest in the major leagues by right-handed batters against a pitcher. Kevin's going to make his first appearance against the Pittsburgh Pirates in interleague play. He's gone 3-6 with a 5.3 ERA over the years. And here is Adam Frazier to lead it off. The left-handed hitter's got a 3-game hit streak coming into the ball game. Frazier will get Manny Machado in close at third base. He's got good speed, and he will foul that one away. Taking a look at this Pirate team overall, as we said, they do not hit home runs. They are very patient at the plate as far as drawing walks is concerned, and then try and take advantage of it. And as Mike said, the problem's been they've been able to get people on, but they've not been able to get them in. Kevin Gausman will have to throw strikes for these Pittsburgh hitters to be swinging at the plate. They don't chase very much. 1-1 delivery, that one to left field right at Mancini. Trey's got it.
Take some of that too. Oh, Adam ball right there. Trey Mancini out left field. Take a look at the rest of the Orioles defense. Jones and Smith will join Mancini. In the outfield, Hardy and Scope will be up the middle. Machado and Davis on the corners, and Caleb Joseph getting the start tonight.
Player, we were just looking at the road numbers for Josh Harrison, their second baseman. He too has got a 3-game hit streak, very solid year with the 7 home runs and the 18 RBIs that he has picked up. And he will take a slider that's going to miss down low. He is tied for 2nd in the major league in being hit by pitches. In the last game on Sunday, he had to come out. He got hit in the same spot in the calf of the leg 2 separate times, hit by a pitch, and it just ballooned up on him, and they had to take him out of the ball game.
Oh my, how weird. He's well off the plate as well.
Yeah, and it's been on the back leg. It's the right leg where he's been hit most often. 1-1 delivery on the way, and the pitch will be taken away, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Yeah, he's really made himself a good player, though. Harrison, very versatile player, played outfield and infield positions.
Moved into the 2nd spot in the lineup by Clint Hurdle, and seems to be real comfortable there. He's hitting .359 in the 23 games in which he's batted 2nd. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that one will be in the air to right field. Had a little more on it than anticipated, but catching up with it is Seth Smith. Seth started in and had to race it down, and a little bit of the sunlight left in right field.
Yeah, nice play there by Seth Smith, and Kevin Gausman flipping in a little slider, 2-0 slider. And Harrison squaring it up. A nice play, quick 2nd out. Kevin Gausman. See Smith got the beat on it. Straight line. His catch is over his shoulder. Good concentration.
So 2 down on fly balls. And Gausman, of course, is a fly ball pitcher. Here is Gregory Polanco. Polanco, their number 3 hitter, getting the start in right field. Still just 25 years old. Seems as though he's been around the game a little longer than that. Tall, lanky, good power. And the pitch is in there for a strike. He had a career high last year in almost all offensive categories: home runs, RBIs, slugging, on base percentage. This is his 3rd full season with the Pirates. .253 major league average coming in. That one will dust the back foot a little bit by Gausman, and a 1-ball 1-strike count on Polanco.
And they had quite an outfield setup with Polanco and Marte and McCutcheon.
Pretty good names.
Yeah.
StatCast brought to you by Amazon Web Services. You take a look at the defense. 1-1 delivery on the way. Gausman will pitch away, and the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. Pirates are 26-31, while the Orioles are 29-26. But as we said, both 3.5 games out of first place. 2-1 delivery on the way, in a great location, down and away, in a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, nice pitch from Gausman. Now real good on that arm side with the fastball, and he'll run a two-seamer out there on the outside corner. He'll four-seam it as well. And gets that good late movement with high velocity on the fastball.
2-2 delivery on the way, and came in, and it's foul tip. Just got a piece of that. Almost had the strikeout. Kevin coming off a win, even though he issued a season-high 5 walks against the Yankees. He won it, giving up just 3 runs on 8 hits and 5 1/3. Got a 2-2 count here with 2 down, nobody on. Orioles outfield shades towards center. 2-2 delivery, and got him to chase. Gausman gets the strikeout and a solid 1-2-3 inning. And bear in mind, it's an inning where Kevin had given up 7 first-inning runs. He gives up nothing here. This is D-Day, of course. On this date in 1944, the Allies launched the invasion on the Normandy beaches. We'll talk a little more about that later on. But D-Day, and those were the landing areas that you see marked with those arrows, and what was to be the beginning of the end. But Lord, was it costly. Let's take a look at the Orioles lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Yes, the low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Smith, Jones, and Machado, Trumbo, Davis, and Scope, Mancini, Hardy, and Joseph. Interleague career, Manny has had very good numbers.
And let's take a look at Ivan Nova's scouting report. He is a familiar foe for sure. In 17 appearances, he's flipped a .501 earned run average against the Orioles, which came up with the Yankees. Heater heavy, though, over 70% fastballs from Nova. It was a 2-seam fastball down in the zone. It is a power sinker, and a 4-seam. He likes to ride up to the top of the zone. He is in the zone. Look at the walks, just 6 walks this year in 77 innings for Nova.
All about strikes.
Yeah, rest of the numbers there. .259 opponent batting average, only 5 home runs and given up.
Left-handers, a little better number. Seth has gone 2 for 10 lifetime off Nova. 0-1 delivery on the way to him. That one's going to miss a little bit. With Mike Estabrook behind the plate tonight, both pitchers should benefit. Mike over the years has tended to give the tough pitches, close ones, to the pitchers. See if that happens again tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Shift on against Seth. He'll put it up in the air to center, and I mean up. It is way back. McCutchen back at the wall, looking, and a leadoff home run. Seth Smith delivers the long ball, and with 1 up, the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah. That's where you get after it right there. Sinker didn't sink for Nova, left it up in the zone. And Smith waiting on it.
Number 6 on the year. And the Orioles get one from the leadoff spot against Nova, who has given up only 6 all year. 4 of those have been hit by the left-handers. And a leadoff homer for the Orioles.
Well, Nova pretty aggressive with the fastball we talked about. He gets a lot of ground balls, up around 50%. But if he leaves it up in the zone, this team is going to be hacking.
Bunting. He had third base to himself. Great bunt. Adam Jones catching David Freese way back, lays down the perfect bunt and breaks an 0 for 12.
You got to like that after the leadoff home run by Seth Smith. Let's take a quick look at that. Seth Smith staying on that backside. Ooh, sinker that didn't sink. Belt high. Straight away center. All McCutcheon can do is give it a look. Goes with the lead.
So Seth Smith delivers it. And while the Pirates may have been a little back on their heels, still thinking about the home run, Adam lays down the bunt.
Yeah, what a great play by Adam Jones.
It's the first leadoff home run and Nova has surrendered this year. We'll check, but I believe that's the third leadoff home run the Orioles have picked up this season. So nobody out, runner on at first base. Here's Manny Machado, and Manny will take it inside for a ball. Manny is picking up the pace as we enter the month of June. His bat is getting hot again. Obviously essential for any success the Orioles are going to have over the course of the season. Adam a short lead at first base. Nova chopper towards short. Mercer, Harrison, double play.
And that's what Nova likes to do, run that little two-seam fastball in there. I hope a hitter gets on top. Mercer turning that one clean. Take a look at the rest of the Pirates defense. Frazier, McCutcheon, and Polanco roam the outfield. Mercer and Harrison turn it too, as they just did up the middle. Freeze and Jaso on the corners. And Cervelli, the veteran backstop, will do the catching for the Buccos.
So the bases are clear. There are two down. And that'll bring up Mark Trumbo. Mark in the DH role for the ball game tonight against Nova. Big numbers. He's gone 10 for 21 with 3 home runs off Ivan Nova. And Nova knows. So we'll see how he pitches here to Trumbo. Oh, 1 count, 2 down. Shift on against Mark. He will take the off-speed breaking ball in there for a strike, all the way down to 78 on that one.
Yeah, well, we talked about 70% fastball usage, but he does have a nice little curveball that he'll flip in there. He filed away his slider / cutter from years past with the Yankees, so primarily just a 3-pitch pitcher, curveball and change.
He'll dump that one in the dirt. Cervelli, another familiar name. A couple of former Yankees getting together. And now time for AARP's Getting to Know You. Getting to know Davis and Trumbo.
Has big numbers off Nova in their careers. 281, 3 homers, 10 RBIs for Davis. And I know Trumbo's numbers. Talked about the 3 bombs, but a 376 batting average. Just flat out raking in his career.
No, Mark with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Outfield very deep and swung around playing into pull. And he goes the other way down the line towards foul territory. That one is going to end up in the seats. For Mark here in the month of June, he's had 4 home runs so far. Batting average of 250. And keep in mind we are only to the 6th day of the month here, so he's put up some big power numbers early on in June. Again, the 1-2 delivery on the way to him, and Mark will ground it into the glove. Nova with that great height used it right there and records the out. But the Orioles are on the board. A leadoff homer by Seth Smith. It's the second one that he's had this year. Third for the Orioles, as Joey Rickard had the other. Tracy Bonner, she's lucky already. Annapolis is where she lives. $500 for being selected. 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight, and there's already been one, so that's 500 more. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/home run. Wish you luck, Tracy, but you've already got it. Seth Smith. David Freese will bat here in the cleanup spot, the third baseman for the Pirates. John Jaso in the lineup has faced Gosman. Everybody else's first time around. Pitch is going to be taken for a strike. Freese with power on a team that, as we said, doesn't have a lot of that in the home run department. But some good extra base hitters on this ball club. And Freese will take that one away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, they have enough good hitters in this Pittsburgh lineup to, make it difficult, obviously, to work through it. But they've had a problem this year, just inconsistencies with some of their starting pitching. Nova obviously has been their most consistent, but they'd have some major injuries as well that have set them back. They're getting a couple guys off the DL pretty soon.
2-1 delivery, and that one down and into him, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Jameson Talon just started a rehab assignment, so he's a big piece. A young arm that they were expecting a lot of good things from this year.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Chopper, middle. Scope's going to have to make a big time play and not going to be able to get to it. So Freese gets the rabbit hop up the middle, and the first Pirate hit leading off the second inning.
Tough break. Pretty good pitch right there from Kevin Gosman. Good fastball on the outside corner. Freese just kind of battled and putting it in play. And the chopper has some eyes, finds its hole up the middle.
That'll bring up Josh Bell. Bell is the designated hitter. As the left-handers in this lineup, you've got Frazier, Polanco, Bell's a switch hitter, and Jaso facing Gosman. Even though the right-handed hitters have done a lot more damage average-wise than have the lefties. Bell, the DH, will go after it and will lift that one foul. Bell's just 24 years old. Last year, Pittsburgh's minor league player of the year. He ranked among the best in the International League in on-base percentage. He was 4th, 10th in average, .295. He's played some first base and outfield with the Pirates, and he was called up for a bit last year. 0-1 delivery on the way. Tried to catch the inside corner, not quite. Talking about some of the Pirates who have returned. Francisco Cervelli is doing the catching. He had an illness. He was out of the lineup. He gets back in. They had a day off yesterday too. He did not play Sunday. Polanco's getting back in. He just had a regular day off. 1-1 delivery. Ow. Took some big cuts up there and fouled it back hard. 1-2.
Yeah, quick thumbs up from Estabrook behind the plate. Foul ball on the big time heater right here, straight back, right over the top of Caleb's head. Thank goodness. Pitches Estabrook right on the chin.
Bell's had a couple of home runs in the last 3 games. He's put up 11 total so far this year in the long ball department. Gosman's got a 1-2 on him. Runner at first base, Freese. Little chopper to third. Man, he's got a long way to go. Has to backhand. His long throws off the mark. Gets away. A runner will move up. Freese will go to third. I would suspect a hit and an error allowing the runner to move up.
Yeah, I think so. Tough chance for Manny Machado. We've seen him make this play before. But, just putting it in play in a tough spot as Manny has to make the backhand. Full speed heading towards the Pirates dugout. And just too much momentum going that way. Ends up pulling Davis off on the inside of the infield. Got to yank that one across the body.
Very tough angle because he was coming from the shortstop position, so he couldn't circle it and get lined up. So the Pirates with a chance have runners on at first and third and nobody out. And McCutchen is coming to the plate. Yes, Andrew McCutchen is hitting down in the order from where we have seen him for so many years and from where he was first start of this year, but still ever dangerous. McCutchen goes in the air to right field, headed into the corner. And that is going to be a foul ball. He's gone .394 with 8 RBIs and 3 homers over the last 10 games. And part of that's because Clint Hurdle moved him to the 6th spot. He had never hit 6th in the order in his career. He'd always been above that. On May 26, he got moved to the 6th hole, and he's hitting .387 since Clint put him there.
Wow, unbelievable. Just a different look, different scenery. Changes an attitude completely.
0-1 count, runners at first and third. And this is where, as we've talked about, the Pirates have had their problems. They are 12th in the National League, hitting just .244 with runners in scoring position. While Kevin Gausman, his number in these situations, a little above the average. Average is about .256. He's at .266. They've got Freese and Bell on. McCutchen with a 2-strike count. Gausman would love a K right here. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Seth Smith will charge. Freese will score. Bell will stop at second base. So McCutchen continues hot. Picks up the RBI, and the Pirates are on the board first.
Yeah, basically just putting the ball in play on Kevin Gausman's fastball. Reaching out and touching it. 2 strikes, staying short at the top of the zone. And Gausman and Caleb trying to work up there, but it stays down at the. Get that up and out. Maybe 6 or 8 inches, but too close to the strike zone. McCutchen puts it in play. He drives in a run on the end.
29 RBIs for McCutchen. Pirates getting their first of the ball game to tie it up at 1. And now here is John Jaso. As we said, another familiar name. American League days. Pitch taken for a strike. He's gone 4 for 11 lifetime against Kevin Gausman. Jaso's got some power. Played a number of games in this ballpark where he's hit .230. Jaso's 51st game against the Orioles, more than any other Pittsburgh Pirate. 0-1 delivery to him. Big cut on a pitch down.
And a great changeup right there. Plays it off the 2-seam fastball. About the same location. And Jaso trying to protect that down and away. Look at Jaso's stance up there, wide open. He really pushes that front foot back.
0-2 delivery down low. Jaso played in the American League, first with Tampa Bay over 3 seasons. Then he went to Seattle for a year, then Oakland for a couple, and then back to Tampa Bay, and then moved on to the Pirates last year, where he hit .268. 33-year-old veteran out of Chula Vista, California. Jaso ready on the 1-2 delivery, steps into it. That's going to be a base hit in the gap. Adam Jones over to cut it off. Bell will score. McCutchen's going to third. The throw comes into Hardy, and it's a double and an RBI for Jaso, and the Pirates take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Kevin Gausman, a couple real good pitches prior to this 2-strike offering. Stays up and out over about belt high, and Jaso picking up his 10th double, going the other way. Let's take a look at the pitch right here. He's ahead in the count. This is supposed to be a fastball up and in. It leaks back over. Jaso gets extended and slaps it in the gap. Nice job by Adam Jones to cut it off and get it back into the infield. Another run crosses.
So Jaso picks up his 13th RBI on the season. Caleb Joseph out to have a word with Kevin Gausman. We mentioned how Kevin had problems in the first inning. Well, he's also had problems in the second. With the runs scored here, he's given up 10 runs in the second inning of ball games, which is the most of any inning that he's worked this year. Francisco Cervelli, 2 on in scoring position. Pirates taking advantage of opportunities, and there's still nobody out here. And the 26-year-old right-hander needs an out, and Cervelli will fight it off foul.
Yeah, you know, it all comes down to that fastball command. Take a look at Kevin Gausman's home trends. Looking pretty good. Last 3 starts, 2-0, 2.95. We talked about at the beginning, and a couple quality starts to boot. Everything better. Home runs down, base on balls, but look at that first start. 6.46 in his first 3.
Those are our Jeep inside the numbers. Francisco Cervelli batting 8th. 0-1 delivery by Gausman to him. Fastball that's going to miss down and in. Cervelli's had 3 hits in his last 4 at bats. We mentioned out for a couple of games with an illness, so he's just getting back into the lineup on a regular basis here in the ball game tonight. Cervelli's gone just 9 for 41, 220 with runners in scoring position. Mercer waiting on deck. Runners off second and third, and the 1-1, and that'll be outside. Count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. Kevin came in. He has surrendered the 3rd most hits in the American League, 5th high in earned runs allowed, and has taken a little over 19 pitches per inning to get out of an inning, and that has hurt his ability to stay in the ball game longer. Started, it stayed inside, trying to work him in and out.
Well, not a bad fastball there, though. Stayed pretty true. 4-seamer. Trying to get it on that inside corner. If nothing else, might open up that outside edge.
So Cervelli works it to 3 balls and 1 strike. Cervelli's had 20 walks on the year. Saw our Mercedes pitchcast look, and that one's strike in the outside corner. Mike Estabrook, a late call. I couldn't believe it wasn't going to be a strike.
Yeah, that was a good fastball. Maybe Kevin Gausman's best. 97 down and away. That's where you want to stay.
Arjun McDowell, Oriole pitching coach, up and looking on.
Take a look at this heater. Actually, it leaked back over 97. That's that 2-seam one. It just tails back over the middle of the plate.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Big pitch down to third base. Runner's going to go back. Machado has time, gets it over to Davis. And there's a matter of knowing your base runner. He knew Cervelli does not have speed, so Manny was able to make sure that runner at third base was back to the bat.
Yeah, real good play there by Manny Machado. Nice pitch by Kevin Gausman, coming all the way back and throws that 2-seamer on the inside corner. Not a lot Cervelli could do with that. Hit the hard ground ball to Manny Machado. He immediately goes over. Gives McCutchen a quick look. I'd like to see him set his feet, but Manny's pretty good at making that throw on the run.
Well, here's the Pirate with the best average among the regulars with runners in scoring position. Mercer hitting .318 in these situations. He will take the pitch. Jordy Mercer, their shortstop, also comes in with a 4-game hit streak going. So Mercer's one of those bats you keep an eye on. Over the last 13 games, he's put up big numbers, hitting .418. 1-0 delivery to him, staying away, and will miss again with it. 2-0.
Yeah, I got the open base. You know, they know the hot hitters and where to pitch, where to be careful. Problem is when the mistakes leak back over the plate. You want to be careful with a hot hitter for sure. Don't give him anything up and out over.
2-0 delivery, down and away again, and again will miss. So the count goes to 3-0. You got the leadoff batter Frazier waiting on deck. And at this point, it looks like he wants nothing to do with Jordy Mercer.
Well, I think he's going to continue to be careful here. Maybe hope for some weak contact, possibly a strikeout. If he can get back into the count.
2-1 delivery will bounce. Stop made by Caleb. And the count goes to 3-1. Kevin has seen the average of opponents go from .262 last year to .324 this year coming into the ball game. An enormous rise in that number, as Mike said, led by the right-handers. Here's 3-1 delivery on the way. He reached for it. That's going to go into foul territory and into the seats.
Well, it's a tough pitch when he finishes it on that outside corner. If it stays a true 4-seamer, it's tough to get on top of that extra life, especially on the top of the zone. But when he tries to bring it back, fastball, he has a hard time harnessing it. That's where it comes to too many mistakes. And a big time elevated batting average by the righties.
Pirates are 12th in the National League in average and 12th in runs scored, 4th in walks, but 11th in on-base percentage. That one to Scope. That's got a twist on it. Jonathan looks home, no play. It'll be an RBI. So Mercer retired, but will be credited with the run batted in as McCutchen scores from third base. Staying at second is Jaso, and the Pirates add another.
That's a pretty good read by the veteran McCutchen. A weak fly ball out there, and man, how do you read that? He was off and going, not on right away, but took the time to recognize that it was going to fall short, and then it was a foot race. And McCutchen wins that to put the third run on the board.
RBI number 19 picked up by Mercer. Now a runner at second base. There are 2 down, and here's the leadoff batter. Adam Frazier stands in. Pitch on the way, in there for a strike. Kevin has thrown 8 out of 10 first pitch strikes in this ball game, so he's putting Pirate hitters behind the 8 ball early on, but they've been able to pick up 3 runs on 3 singles and a double here in the second. A couple of those that were either in the infield or just barely rolled out of it against Kevin.
Yeah, that's really how this inning started. A little seeing eye chopper up the middle. You know, you kind of just say, well, that's just the way baseball goes. And then the next one, a little tapper to Manny Machado. Not a lot you could do with those type of pitches, but well, they kept pushing. There were some big hits, obviously, McCutchen and then Jaso.
Frazier with the 0-2 count. Gosman's delivery to him rattled down to third. Another tomahawk chop right there, protecting him. Went up and got the bat on it.
Well, that's it, and that's how you win some ball games. That's how you put pressure on opposing pitcher. You just keep battling with the 2 strikes, fighting them off. They've had some luck this inning.
Frazier's been moved around in this order. This order's changed as they try and find some offense. 25 games, leadoff hitter, 318 in the leadoff spot. 0-2 delivery, that's popped up, no play. Real good crowd on hand for this first of 2 against the Pirates, where the weather for this homestand for the Orioles overall has just been spectacular.
Sure has.
Kind of days you'd like to bottle up and just have for the rest of the summer. Absolutely gorgeous here, sunset time. 0-2 on Frazier. Jaso with an RBI double, still out there at second base. Adam Jones shortens up in center by a half-dozen steps. 0-2 delivery, and he gets it. So Gosman will get a couple of strikeouts, but the Pirates are going to get 3 runs. They'll do it on 4 hits, an error, and leave 1 on base. And the Pirates take the early lead, 3-1. With the Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Pirates 3 runs, 4 hits, all earned in that second inning. The Orioles will have to battle back, and it'll be Davis, Scope, and Mancini coming to the plate. Chris on a tear. He's got a 6-game hit streak going right now, hitting the long ball, extra base hits, picking up some RBIs. Great sign to the Orioles, and he'll take the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, more importantly, starting to use left field a little bit more. I think that's what happens when Chris Davis, a lot of the Orioles actually start getting hot. It's opening up the whole field.
And a ground ball into the shift. That's the shortstop. Mercer makes the play, and Davis is retired. Hey, Father's Day is coming up. Father Day weekend here. The Orioles are going to be playing the Cardinals Friday, June 16. Fireworks night presented by Maryland Excels. Then on Father's Day, Sunday the 18th, all fans 15 and over get the grayscale cap, followed by the Kids Running the Bases presented by Wise Markets for youngsters 4 to 14. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. And some youngsters on hand here at the ballpark tonight. Here's Jonathan Scope, 4 for 10, a home run off Nova. He'll take the slider outside. Scope has also been driving it well, leading the Orioles in doubles. He's had 9 RBIs from the 7th inning on. He leads the Orioles in those late game RBI numbers, which are usually vital to the outcome of the ball game.
Yeah, he's been impressive this year. I think just his patience at the plate, not chasing as many.
In the air to left field, pretty good wood, but it's going to stay in the yard and hauled in by Frazier.
Yeah, must have got that one off the label. Took a pretty good swing from Jonathan Scope, but I think the two-seam fastball just rode in enough to keep it in the yard.
That'll bring up Trey Mancini. Nova getting the first 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. Mancini's up there among the leaders when it comes to rookies and the batting average numbers, as you might expect with the great power numbers that Trey started out with this season. This is in the category leader in home runs and RBIs, top 5 among rookies in the American League. Keeps those numbers up, he's going to vie for that spot. Had him fooled on that one. He was way out in front. Got enough to chop it foul, though. 0-2. Take a look at our PNC inside the numbers.
Yeah, how about the fewest walks allowed since, check this now, August of last year. Von Nova with 9 walks. We talked about him having 6 walks this season in 77 innings. Last year, he got traded over to the Pirates from the Yankees. He only had 3 walks in 64 innings of work. Pretty impressive stuff.
And by doing that, he keeps his ERA at 2.92, which is 5th best in the league, because he does give up hits. He came in giving up a hit per inning exactly. 77 hits, 77 innings. But when you don't give up the walks and put the extra people on, he's able to keep the ERA at a very solid number. 0-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken down low. A 1-ball 2-strike count to Mancini.
Yeah, you think as soon as the Pirates got Nova last year on the trade, Ray Searage just eyes lit up. So this guy's got a good arm. Keep him on the plate with that good two-seam movement. See what happens, and his confidence completely changed.
Yep. Sometimes that New York atmosphere can just be a little too much for players, pitchers, position players, whatever. It may have been the case for him, maybe not, but it made a difference.
Yeah, it also could have been the fact that he was pitching in the American League East. Not a lot of pitchers like that either.
Yeah.
It's tough going through an American League lineup 1 through 9. You go over to the National League, it's a little.
Yeah, we were talking about that for the game. Yep.
Pitcher hits.
1-2 delivery on the way. That's why Buck Showalter always says, he talks about ERAs, says Buck has always said, as far as I'm concerned, the top 10 ERAs in baseball are always in the American League. Now you got little exceptions along the way, Kershaw, but because you're facing 9 position players in the American League, much harder to gain those ERA numbers than the National, where, like you said, you get a little break at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the American League 1 through 9, really. I mean, sure, the 7, 8, 9 typically the weaker hitters, but American League teams just stack their lineups. I mean, they have power all the way through. There are no soft hitting middle infielders anymore. It's all about thumping. You better be on your game because they're going to be backlegging.
And none more so than the teams in the East. 2-ball 2-strike count with 2 down. Nobody on. And a swing and a miss. First strikeout picked up by Nova, who retires the side in order. We go to the 3rd inning, and the first of 2. Gosman back out. Pirates with the lead. Hitting, losing in that order. Samaja pitching 10 strikeouts, no walks Monday. First major league pitcher since 1900 to record 50 or more strikeouts and no more than 1 walk in 7 straight starts. The Astros, they're in another world. They're appropriately named. 11 straight wins, and the last 8 of them, they've had at least 6 runs in each of the game. That ties the longest such streak in the majors since '05. And the Cardinals, they've now lost 6 games in which they led by at least 2 runs in the 7th inning or later. That's the most such losses in the league. Pitch is taken down low. The Astros are living in some rarefied air.
Yeah, pretty amazing, isn't it? The run they've been on, both offensively and the pitching.
I mean, you play 500 baseball, you feel we're in it. We got a shot at. You play 600 baseball, you're in it. How about you play 700 baseball? They're playing 724 baseball. I mean, that's unheard of. That's going to go to third. Manny Machado's got it. Harrison is retired. On Memorial Day, the Orioles proudly joined Major League Baseball in honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice by wearing special Memorial Day jerseys and caps. You can go to Orioles.com/auction and place a bid. Jersey, caps, autographed, authenticated, and the proceeds benefit the Fort Meade Alliance Foundation. The bidding's going to close tonight at 10 p.m. Orioles.com/auction. Old Glory waving up there with a great blue background of the sky.
A little flyby too.
A little flyby. That's pretty good. Good timing.
Yeah.
Here is Polanco. Gregory Polanco, strikeout victim his first time up. Orioles full shift on against him. He shows bunt. Manny Machado's playing in the shortstop shallow position.
Yeah, Polanco, one of those guys. Say, all right, go ahead. You can bunt if you want. Even though his power numbers aren't too big. You know, he can do some damage, certainly with one swing of the bat.
Tried to do so there and will foul it off. Polanco also has had a pretty hot bat. He's had over the last 17 games a .328 average, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, and 9 RBIs over that span.
Well, they put up some numbers. They had
they have
2 11-run games here recently, and the Buccos were struggling offensively, so they certainly have the ability.
It moves, as we said, they've moved a lot of folks around. Clint Hurdle changing the lineup a bit, which does it really matter or not? Well, if the results say it does, and I guess it does. 2 ball 1 strike delivery by Gausman, and that is up high, and Kevin is going to fall behind on him. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, I think there are times in the game, you know, the season's so long, when the lineup isn't producing, you just do it to shake things up. You know, you don't follow any kind of numbers. You just shake up the clubhouse a little bit.
And you would know this, but I would think players, sometimes it's just the idea. I used to hit first, now I'm hitting 4th or 5th. It's just like, hey, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, absolutely. Something different.
Yeah.
And everybody to a man in that Pirates locker room knows what the manager's trying to do. So, you know, you buy in. You're not going to complain about it. Everybody's getting moved around. You're just trying to find something to ignite the team because the manager believes they have a shot. You know, they can make a nice push. Like we were talking about, nobody wants to walk away with it in you know, in the East right now, or the Central.
Yeah.
So
3.5 out.
Yeah, they have as good a shot as the Cubs.
Check out MASN All Access on MASN Orioles social media platforms. The new social media show will be broadcast on Facebook Live and feature game previews, fan tweets, Q&As, players, and much more. Follow MASN Orioles Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for all the fun. MASN All Access. David Freese, a base hit and a run scored in the 2nd inning. Bouncer gets away. Joseph makes sure. Polanco decides to stay at first base. Caleb stayed on that one. Well, again, Kevin Gausman having to throw a goodly number of pitches here with only 1 down in this 3rd inning.
Yeah, tough 2nd inning. Kevin's been susceptible to those big innings this year. 5th time he's had an inning with 3 runs.
Ball's going to get away, but it hit him and he'll stay. That caught Polanco somewhere on the backside.
Yeah, you see him rubbing the back. I guess if you're going to have an errant throw, hit him hard enough to where he stays there. Right. Oh man, right in the kidney area. That'll keep him down for a second. Fortunately, able to smile about it.
Count is 1-0 on David Freese, Pirate third baseman. 1-0 delivery on the way. He played in that World Series with the Cardinals back in 2011, which I was fortunate enough to broadcast. I have never seen anything like the show. Game 6 of that World Series, 2 out, 2 RBI triple. And then he came back with a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 11th inning. I mean, he put on a show in that game defensively and offensively that was phenomenal.
Right.
I mean, the game was over. The Cardinals were toast. And then he hit that triple down into the corner, just grinding it out, and the place absolutely erupted. Sounded like Predators hockey. And then when he got that home run to walk off in the 11th, it was just,
yeah.
I mean, what a series for him. He won both the MVP of the League Championship Series and the World Series.
Amazing.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Freese will take the pitch down low, and Kevin working behind him, 3-1.
Yeah, about timing. He's a young player then too, and got hot at the right time.
Only the 6th player with both an NLCS and a World Series MVP. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Polanco's on at first base. Freese on the 3-1. Right what Gosman wanted. Jonathan scoped the relay, and they turn the double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning here at Camden Yards. The Pirates 3 and the Orioles 1. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by the University of Maryland Medical System. Be a part of something greater. With Mike Bordick, I'm Gary Thorne. Sunset time off the beautiful warehouse yet one more time. Moon's out, lights on. Gorgeous evening and a good ball game underway. Pirates have the 3-1 lead. We're landing. We're landing. Houston, we have a problem.
What about when we have to make that road trip?
That's a long road trip.
Right.
If the Astros keep playing the way they are, that's where baseball is going to send them. To the moon, Alice. Here's J.J. Hardy, and the pitch is taken for a strike. J.J. coming in with the big numbers against the Pirates in his career, having played the games in the National League. .357 lifetime against the Pirates with 11 home runs. This will be J.J.'s 64th game against Pittsburgh. 0-2 count on him on the first 2 from Nova.
Yeah, a couple ugly strikes. Buck Showalter letting him know. J.J. Hardy shaking his head in there.
Set up away, tapped it. Nova, and gets it there in time to Jason.
Forcing J.J. Hardy to make that swing on the outside fastball there.
Oriole fans, when the O's score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with the promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Buck just shaking his head over there, but as we said, Mike Estabrook, hitters beware. Be ready to protect. Caleb Joseph has faced Nova only once, 0 for 1. Caleb will take the pitch outside for a ball. Nova with a 1-0 delivery. Always talk about players, pitchers this tall. Jim Palmer emphasizes how difficult it is for tall pitchers to maintain that rhythm in their control and release point. And Nova's one of those. He's got big size out there, but he's got a pretty easy looking windup right now.
Yeah, seems like very repeatable. Not doing too much.
6'5", 240 pounds. Nova's 30 years old now. I mean, he's been around. Mentioned he was signed as a free agent. Major league record, 63 wins and 45 losses.
And just kind of trusting the movement of that fastball right now, the two-seam fastball.
Ooh. Just and you all can finish it.
Spiking the breaking ball there. You throw 70% fastballs, you lose the touch or the feel for some of your secondary pitches at times. You're holding on to the curve a little too long. Certainly the acrobatic attempt at the block.
2-2 lifted in the air to left field. Frazier over. Joseph is retired. Last time the Pirates played here was 2014. Last time these two teams got together here at Camden Yards. The Orioles have had success in the all-time series, 10 wins, 6 losses. They've won 7 of the 8 games that these two teams have played here at Camden Yards. 2 down, nobody on. Seth Smith led off the ball game with a home run for the Orioles, picking up number 6, and that is the lone run on the board. That was followed by a Jones bunt single, and the Orioles have not had a hit since.
Nova's double play, induced double play ball to Manny Machado, kind of shutting the Orioles offense down after that home run by Seth Smith.
Nova bouncing it around a little bit here in the 3rd inning, as the count will go to 2-0 on Seth. Seth with a home run now, 3 for 11 lifetime against Nova. Nova an 8-4 mark against the Orioles. ERA of 4. Here in this ballpark, he's gone 3-1. ERA higher, about a run and a half higher at 5.5. Well, they hope for long innings out of him. They are counting on being able to rest the bullpen. Ray Searage, their pitching coach, hoping Nova gets him deep into ball games. He's done that pretty well. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that'll come inside. Never moved back. 3 ball 1 strike count.
Yeah, he has been pretty consistent as far as eating up innings. He's never gone lower than 6 innings for the Bucks this year, and he's had a couple complete games.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah,
2 complete games already. It's about as many as the league will have when it's done. Here's the 3-1 delivery on the way. Seth's going to get another base hit. Diving and missed. Frazier came on, and it went right through him. Smith will make his way down to second base. That looked like a catchable ball.
Well, Frazier definitely wanted it. Had a good break. And actually, Seth Smith, he was carrying his bat down the line, thinking it was going to be one of those hang with him Adam balls. Staying on the sinker, down and away. Nice swing by Smith, and here's going to be a good look. Yeah, Frazier, he's got a bead. Just catching it off the pinky, part of the glove. Yeah, tough on those sinking line drives. Smith catching a break.
So that one definitely catchable. Adam Jones will be given the chance, and appropriately an error charged on Frazier. 2-base error. Adam Jones, a bunt base hit, his first time up. Now the leader of the league with runners in scoring position will stand in. Adam at 438 in these situations. Way ahead of Mookie Betts, who's second at 390.
Yeah, pretty impressive. The Orioles been real good all year long with runners in scoring position. And this is a big one they'd like to pick up.
0-1 delivery fouled off. They also, as we continue to tell you, have been either 1 or 2 so far this year in the league with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. They're hitting a whopping 297, which is a very solid number.
Now with the 2 strikes and the 2 outs, now Seth Smith can get a little bit of a move, actually anticipate and go on the swing, increase his percentage of scoring. Indeed, it is a base hit.
Adam against Nova came in hitting just a 196 lifetime with 1 home run. Did get the bunt single his first time up. Nova wants to chat as he's having trouble. He and Cervelli agreeing to what they want to do here, or what the signs now are with that runner on at second base.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just a little indecision. Maybe went through the signs one too many times, and then just making sure each are on the same page.
Take a look at our Coons League Leaderboard, brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
Yeah, the average with runners in scoring position, Orioles at 302 to lead the American League. And we talked about, of course, Adam Jones first in the American League with that 438 average. Jonathan Scope's up there as well.
Frazier's going to get another chance on a much easier play, and he will put that one away. So that'll do it here in the third. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 left on base. 3 complete. 3-1 Pirates. All-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Great look towards the Inner Harbor. Pirates 3-4-1. The Orioles 1-2-1. Kevin Gausman, Orioles starter, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Nova, no walks and a strikeout for the Pirates. Game 2 tomorrow night. There are only 2 in this short series. Wade Miley against Chad Kuhl. 6:30 O's extra. 7 o'clock for the ball game. And the Orioles are going to have a real tough start to a road trip. They've got to go to Washington Thursday to play that makeup game, and they're not even going to stay there. They're just going to go play and then head to New York.
Right.
And that's tough.
What about Washington's coming back from the West Coast? Though, so that's a little tougher.
So both teams may be a little weary-eyed when they get to the ballpark for the makeup game on Thursday. Both were supposed to have a day off. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Josh Bell. A single and a run scored. 3 runs, 4 hits, second inning. RBIs picked up by McCutchen, Jaso, and Mercer. Orioles getting the leadoff homer from Smith in the first inning. Bell, the 1-2 delivery to him. And a swing and a miss for strikeout number 3 for Gosman.
Right, some nasty changes to the lefties early part of this ball game. Look at the bottom dropping out. Vulcan change. Great location down and away. Looks like the heater. He throws it hard and it just dive bombs. Nice pitch from Gosman.
And it'll bring McCutchen to the plate. McCutchen delivered a base hit and an RBI in the second inning. 29 driven in on the year. Veteran will take it for a strike. 30 years old now. Lives in Lakeland, Florida, born in Florida, and has had an illustrious career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. 0-1 delivery to him. Major league average at .292 coming into this season for McCutchen. Led the league in hits back in 2012 with 194. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Strike taken at the knees.
Yeah, last year McCutchen, the batting average tailed off a little bit, but still hit some home runs. Mid-20s with the power. So a lot of people thought maybe some injuries last year. He kept to himself, kind of limited his batting average.
Got it in there and he's gone. So 2 strikeouts here in the 4th inning.
That's a good fastball from Gosman, 98 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the location. Caleb sets up off the plate. Still gets a little two-seam run action. Catches Caleb's glove. Bottom of the strike zone. Beautiful pitch. Holding a good velocity from Gosman.
Here's the veteran John Jaso. Double and an RBI first time up. Jaso will take the pitch away. 13 driven in for Jaso. Playing at first base. He's now 5 for 12 off Gosman. Puts that one a mile high towards second base. Hardy's playing there in the shift. And JJ will put it away. So a solid inning. Kevin Gosman sets him down in order, which he has done 2 out of the 4 innings. Look at the Yankees. Chapman shoulder, Bird ankle, Ellsbury concussion, all on the DL. Yankees open up a big series against Boston tonight. They're underway. The Rays lead the league with 12 blown saves. They've had a lead in 50 of 59 games. That's a big ouch. And for Toronto, this from Sportsnet Canada. This is an important opportunity to pile up some wins over the next 3 weeks for the Jays. They won't face a single 500 team until June 27, when they begin a daunting measuring stick 13-game stretch before the All-Star break. We'll see what Toronto does with the clubs under 500.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the season, because that 13-game stretch includes Baltimore, Boston, New York, and then 4 with Houston as they enter the break.
Ouch. So the Orioles needing to battle back against Nova, Machado, Trumbo, and Davis. Manny hit into a double play his first time up, 5 for 26 with a home run. Lifetime off the Pirates starter. 1-0 pitch on a check swing strike called.
Nova keeping the righties honest by driving that sinker hard inside off the plate, opening up that outside corner. There it is, 91 miles an hour. A little jackknife for Manny Machado. He can throw the four-seam fastball on that outside edge, as well as bring back that two-seamer.
2-1 delivery on the way. Machado on a big cut over the top of it.
Rare changeup right there.
Yeah. Certainly don't sit on that pitch. He doesn't throw enough of them.
No, exactly. And unfortunately, he flips it in there at the bottom of the zone. It's tough to get a good look at it.
2-2 delivery on the way, and Manny will fight it off. Manny had his great bowling. Entire team showed up. Corporate sponsors. And Manny did that after the game on Sunday. Wellington Castillo had never bowled before, and he did a heck of a job.
Nice.
He was really excited about it. So Brad Brock, he's not only a closer in baseball, but he picked up a strike there. He was bowling the heck out of it. It was a great night. And he went around on it, and a strike called, and Manny is retired.
No, I think Nova knows Machado's heating up, so he has to mix it up. Change up in that at bat, big slow curve to get him out in front there.
The money from Manny's charitable opportunity goes to the inner city baseball program here in Baltimore to help fields, equipment provided for them. He's done it 4 years in a row. Gets great support from the team and from the city. And we congratulate him on the work done. Fouled off by Trumbo, grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, I think it's important and nice to recognize the fact that the whole team was at that event last night for Manny Machado.
After a tough game.
Right.
Yep. They showed up, supported him, and bowled. The guys bowl. I mean, they bowl with fans who have paid money, corporate sponsors. Number of kids also bowl from the inner city baseball programs there in the little duck pin lanes.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have a great time. They have wonderful food and drink, and they make a real night of it. Mustang Langs does a great job helping out as the location. Pitch taken down low, and the count goes to 2-1 on Trumbo. Grounded out his first time up. Orioles DH batting in the cleanup spot. Mark carries just a 171 lifetime average against the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2-1 delivery. Roller to third, foul. Not happy with himself on that swing.
Yeah, well, Trumbo's been on his game here recently, so he is a quick evaluator of whether it be a bad swing or a bad pitch chosen to swing at. Just couldn't stay back on that 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Well, certainly you have to honor the firm fastball. He's rushing it in there, two-seam, about 94 in on the righties.
2-2 delivery on the way by Nova.
Right there.
He was saying a little prayer, Mark was, that he didn't hear anything from behind him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, borderline pitch. You see it moving on the inner third, and you just hope it works off that inside edge. Fortunately for Trumbo, it did. You see the fifth pitch just off the inside corner.
So a 3-ball 2-strike count. Shift on in the infield. And 3-2s down low. First walk surrendered by Nova. And he's not very happy about that with himself. Lock in your Birdland summer. Reserve your seats for upcoming promotions, including an Orioles grayscale cap, the Dylan Bundy t-shirt, an infielders bottle stopper set, and more. For tickets, Orioles.com/tickets or 888-848-BIRD. 1-out walk. How about the sunset reflecting off the high cumulus clouds out there? 1 away. Infield double play depth shifted against Chris Davis, who grounded out his first time up. He's going for the long ball, and the pitch down and away.
Chris Davis, of course known as the Crusher, monster home runs, the best, most prolific home run hitters in the last 5 or 6 years, but one of the toughest also to double up. Pretty good speed as he hustles out of the box.
Strike called on him 0-2.
He didn't like that one. Up and in fastball.
Chris is 9 for 32 against Nova. 3 home runs. 0-2 delivery, runner at first base, breaking ball got him. That one was there, one before questionable, and he's out of there.
Yeah, Chris just giving up on the slow hook. Just flips it over there after he gets away with the high fastball. Boy, this one just floating into the middle of the plate, but Davis probably thinking he's going to try to climb the ladder on him. This gets locked up.
So 2 down on strikeouts here in the 4th inning. We'll bring up Jonathan Schoop. Jonathan flied out to left field. His first time up. Jonathan continues up there among the leaders in doubles in the American League. He's now tied for 3rd. Devin Travis, Jed Laurie of 18. Mookie Betts, Jonathan Schoop, Corey Dickerson. All are tied for 3rd with 17 in the doubles department. 1-0 count. Pirates getting the 3 runs in the 2nd. So far made it stand up. Trumbo on first. 1-0. Schoop fouls it back. Our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
Well, there you go. You were talking about Jonathan Schoop and some of the impressive numbers he's put up. How about 25 more extra base hits, 25 plus runs, 25 plus RBI by players 25 or younger, and there's Schoop on the list. Of course, he does have the 17 doubles and 8 home runs. Pretty impressive numbers this year for Jonathan Schoop.
1-1 delivery to him, and that had him fooled, but it will miss inside. It's a great group of names you saw there of some really exciting, and Jonathan Schoop's part of it, exciting players.
Oh yeah, I mean these guys are going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
Already showed consistency at a young age, and doing it on both sides of the ball as well.
Yep. 2-1 count. Short lead at first. And Schoop a little bit out in front off the end of the bat and fouls it off. I think all around baseball for young, the talent level at a young age is pretty high. I mean, you've got a great mix of veterans too, but some outstanding young players who are in their 2nd, 3rd years making their names known around the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just showing the consistency. I think that's been the most impressive.
Yep. And Manny's one of those. You kind of forget that.
Yeah, he's been
already
around.
Been elevated to
sure
such a super level. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And the slider will miss away.
Yeah, and I think Jonathan Schoop's kind of just getting over the hump there. Signs of, star power, obviously, with the home run capabilities. Turns probably arguably the best double play in the game with that strong arm. And it's taken him a little bit to show more consistency at the plate. But this year has certainly been locked in.
3-2, runner goes, and a broken back ground ball, not hit hard. Harry Mercer will make the play, and a nice pick. Jaso at first base on the backhand pick. That will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. 3-1 Pirates. Here at Camden Yards, Pirates with the 3-1 lead. Games tonight and tomorrow night against the Pirates, and then the Orioles are going to be going to Pittsburgh. They will face one another September 26 and 27 in Pittsburgh. Cervelli up and will foul it away. He grounded out to third his first time up.
Well, both teams hoping that September 26th and 27th, those are meaningful games, right?
Yeah. They are right now because of the standings we talked about earlier. 0-1 delivery on the way. It'll be interesting. The Orioles close out on the road this year, and those two games in Pittsburgh are bookend by days off. And then they play at home, 3 of Boston, 4 against Tampa Bay. And then a day off, play Pittsburgh a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a final weekend series in Tampa Bay. How much will it matter? Lord only knows. Right field, Smith. Jones coming over, says nope. And we'll put it away. Cervelli is retired. Our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Yeah, how about the Delmarva Shorebirds All-Stars? Well, Alex Wells, he's been on this list before. Tremendous first half, 4-2 with a 1.72. Of course, just 20 years old from Australia. He has been dominating in Delmarva. Jake Ring, 326 with 112 total bases. Are you kidding me? 31st round pick back in 2016, and he's making a name for himself for sure. 9 home runs already. And Chris Clare did a nice job as well. Just 22 years old. Congratulations to the Delmarva Shorebirds All-Stars.
Fine young names on the horizon to watch for the Orioles. Jordy Mercer. Mercer will take the pitch away. Mercer picked up an RBI on a ground ball out to second base. Had a fine year last year. Their opening day shortstop, 4 years in a row. 256 with the Pirates. 59 RBIs, 11 home runs last year. He's going to get one down the line. That's going to fall in. It'll roll over towards the corner. Mancini over to get it. Mercer's on his way, and the hot bat continues. 5-game hit streak for him and a 1-out double.
Yeah, pretty impressive little swing right there. Maybe a little choke up to get a little bat control, but the fastball inside. Look at the hands, just riding the belt buckle in tight to get the bat head to the baseball. The label, but the bat head in the right position as he whistles it down that left field line. 9th double of the year for Mercer.
So the Pirates have a chance to add to their lead with their 5th hit of the ball game. Top of the order, Frazier 0 for 2 is flied out, struck out. 1 down. He will take the pitch away. Frazier hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. He had an opportunity in the 2nd inning with the runner at second and 2 down, and Gosman struck him out. 1 of 4 Ks for Kevin. 1-0 away and no play.
Good pitch with the changeup out there. Make sure you get it off that outside edge. Perfectly located.
Kevin working on 5 days rest for this game. It's the 4th start he's had with 5 days rest. ERA at 5, about a run and a half less than on those usual 4 rest starts. Pitch is taken away. And a 2-ball 1-strike count on Frazier. Real pitching coach Roger McDowell hoping to go through this rotation again, as we showed you at the top of the show, with the same kind of success they had the last time through. Big lead at second. 2-1 delivery on the way. Grounded to first base. Davis on the big hop.
Another good change right there from Kevin Gosman. Record the 2nd out.
Frazier moves over to third base, but now there are 2 down. And so that will leave it up to Harrison. Kevin's not giving up a lot of 2-out runs. Hitters just 156 when there are 2 down with the runner in scoring position. Harrison is an 0 for 2. He is flied out and grounded out. Very big run here in the 5th inning, potentially at third base in Mercer. And the pitch will be away for a ball.
Always a good sign when the catcher gives a little encouragement, pointing the glove out to Kevin Gausman, saying that away. Good location. How about the thumbs up right there? And build that confidence for a starting pitcher.
Caleb Joseph asked for the timeout. One-0 count. Runner off third, D back in the infield. And that's going to go to center field. Adam Jones coming, and we'll put it away. No runs, one hit, no errors, and a base runner left on at third. So the game now a pitcher's duel with the Pirates up by 2. I don't know if you saw this in the news. 1948 baseball cards discovered in an attic unopened in their packs and original box. Excellent condition. Part of a trove of sporting trading cards. The auction house says that now has those cards. They think they can get nearly $1 million for them. Finding one pack of 48 cards, said the New York Times, from the Bowman series was unheard of, but to find 19 unopened packs in their original box, never before. The Bowman's 48 product line, including players who were destined for the Hall of Fame: Yogi Berra, Ralph Kiner, Stan Musial. Rookie cards, all part of that pack.
Oh, 19 unopened packs. That means it's going to bring the value down. Bring the value down to the ones that I have.
Bring them in.
Too many packs.
Bring them in. We'll value them. You can always sell the bubble gum. Those were the Bowman packs, as many at that time had. They all have the gum in them still. From 1948. Fresh chew. At third, Mancini is retired by just a half a step. Freese gets it over there in time, and Mancini that close to beating it out.
Yeah, pretty nice little defensive play right there by Freese. And take a look on the chopper. Bang bang over at first base. What you didn't see was Freese's little pirouette. Comes up with this big play.
And got him. So one away here in the 5th inning. J.J. Hardy. Hardy grounded out his first time up. One down. Nova's delivered. Red Sox have taken a 4-1 lead on the Yankees in their battle series starting tonight. Nova wails another one away. He gets frustrated with himself. He's done that 2 or 3 times tonight. Just loses his windup rhythm and bounces one way outside the strike.
Yeah. See Clint Hurdle, pitch coach, having a little laugh about that. Oh, forget about it. He'll be right back in the zone.
Yeah, that's the key. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and that's what he did. He came right back in, popped him up, second base, Harrison, and he's got it. 2 away. Well, the 217 All-Star Game voting underway at Orioles.com/vote-orange. Vote 5 times for the chance to win an autographed All-Star jersey. Vote 20 times to receive a buy one get one offer for the Ranger Series in July. Vote early, vote often, vote orange. Orioles.com/vote orange today. Adam Jones on the list. All-star consideration. Caleb Joseph flied out his first time up. Nova has averaged an incredibly low 13 pitches per inning in his previous starts. He's at 15 right now.
Yeah, well, he's so efficient, and it's almost a careless approach, just kind of flipping it in there, it seems. But obviously, he's making good pitches. Talked about the amount of hits he's given up, one per inning, but the fact that he doesn't walk anybody, it just allows him to get deeper in ball games, trust the defense. Yeah, there have been some atom balls, but he's got a couple of double play balls when he's needed, you know, and even in his complete game, or one of them, he threw 95 pitches, you know, so really efficient and aggressive in the zone, and you get that kind of movement.
He has just the right combination. He retires 73% of leadoff batters, throws a lot of strikes, doesn't get deep into counts, and as a result, he's 5-4 with the 5th best ERA in the National League. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Caleb got jammed unmercifully. That one touched him in the batter's box and is foul.
Well, he's got a good feel for that two-seamer on the inside corner. He can really place it in there well. Not a lot of pitches actually ending up on the plate. Many of those two-seamers inside working in pretty hard. Last one though, catching just on the edge, and Caleb whistled it off his ankle.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way by Nova. And that's going to go to second base. Little blooper. And another 1-2-3 inning. That is the 3rd quick inning out of 5 for Nova in the ballgame.
Game set against the Bucks, and Seth Smith gets things going right. Solo home run in the Orioles' first at bat. Second inning though, the Pirates come back. McCutchen with a base hit to right field to score freeze, and then John Jaso whistles one into the gap. Just score Bell. Put a 3 spot on the board against Gosman, but he settles in. A couple big strikeouts there. The fastball command starting to come back around in the middle of this ball game. A couple quick innings for the Birds. Pirates up 3-1 in the top of the 6th. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Kevin Gosman ready to go. Here's Polanco leading it off for the Pirates, and down low for a ball. Polanco's drawn a walk. He has struck out. Only 2 walks issued in the game, 1 by each of the starters. This Pirate offense, talked about how they had struggled early, but they have heated it up. 1-0 delivery. Takes some cuts, boy. Foul that one right straight back. Not going to be cheated.
No. He's got some good leverage up there. Big kid.
Pirates in road games, they've recorded at least 10 hits in each of their last 6 road games. And over the last 10, they've averaged 6.7 runs. Games on the road. They've doubled the output from what they had in the first 20 road games. Doubled the output in offense over their last 10. Pirates come in with a road record of 12-18. The Orioles here at home 19-10. 2-1 pitch was away. Just able to get it.
Well, perfect changeup, well located, just working off that outside edge. And Kevin's had a hard time driving the four-seam fastball up and in on the lefties. This would be a great time to stick one up there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Polanco, Freese, and Bell due up. And a swing and a miss. He's been able to get him on those pitches that he keeps down. 5 strikeouts for Kevin.
Yeah, or flip in the nasty Vulcan change. How about that? He has been spot on with this pitch, especially when it gets ahead against the lefties. Here, nasty down below the knees. Looks like it's going to hold its head right at the kneecaps, but there it is. Trapdoor opens up, gets Polanco out in front.
Keep in mind the Pirates came in with a 19.4 strikeout rate, tied for second lowest in the National League. So we were talking about, and their 9.1% walk rate. That's per plate appearance. That's tied for 4th best in the National League. And Gausman has struck out 5 and walked only 1. Foul back by Freese. He's had a single, a run scored, hit into a double play off Gausman. RBIs have gone to McCutchen, Jaso, and Mercer, all in the second. 3 runs, 4 hits. Since then, they've had only 1 hit.
Yeah, aside from that second inning, and really the way that inning started was Freese, that little chopper up the middle. Infield, middle of the infield anyway, was kind of split. Hardy playing the hole, and Jonathan Scope kind of pushed more towards Chris Davis, left the hole up the middle. He just chopped it up over Gausman's head. And then there was another little infield single by Bell. It really sparked that whole inning.
The problem's been that the Orioles had a home run and a single in their first 2 batters and haven't had a hit since. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Gausman with the delivery to him. He'll hit that to right field. Pretty good wood on that. Backing him up, looking up, and goodbye home run. He cleared the scoreboard to the left of it, and as a result didn't need much height on it. And Freese delivers the long ball, giving the Pirates a 4-1 edge.
Yeah, Kevin Gausman hoping the scoreboard would have gotten in the way of that one. Freese getting himself into a hitter's count. 3-1. Fastball elevated up and out over. Caleb Joseph wanted down and away. The mistake does not get missed here by Freese. Solo shot.
6 home run, 21st RBI. So he's crossed the plate twice. David Freese. And a 4-1 lead for the Pirates. Home run number 11 off Kevin Gausman this year. 0-1 count, 1 away. Josh Bell, a base hit, a run scored, and he has struck out. The 0-1 lifted hard on a 1-hopper. Scope will back up and make it.
Nice play there by Jonathan Scope, moving the feet to get a good angle.
Our Heritage Automotive road ahead. Heritage Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at heritagedealers.com.
Now tomorrow night taking on these Pittsburgh Pirates, 7 o'clock start, and then head the road makeup game against the Nationals down at Nationals Park, and then on up to Yankee Stadium via the train. 7:30 start Friday, 7 o'clock start on Saturday. That is a Fox game, and then on Sunday 1 p.m. start.
And here is McCutchen, who's had an RBI single, and he has been called out on strikes. McCutchen with 2 down and nobody on, and the pitch to him will be away. McCutchen closing in on a magic number. He's got 499 hits, extra base hits, and will become the 8th Pirate to join the 500 extra base hit club. Some pretty good names: Willie Stargell, Honus Wagner, Paul Wainer, Roberto Clemente, Pie Traynor, Max Carey, and Dave Parker.
Oh, man.
2-1 delivery hit high in the air to center. Adam Jones going back at the wall with room and makes the catch. Right off the top of the wall. Another Adam Jones special. He reads it so well. Would this have gone? He's got it timed.
Oh, that was
pretty good chance. Our Mazda do-ups, Smith, Jones, and Machado. Ocean City. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by American Standard Heating and Air. Go to MidAtlanticComfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick here at Camden Yards. First of two against the Pirates. 4-6-1. Pittsburgh, the Orioles 1-2-1. First two in the ball game. Smith a home run. Jones a single. Bunt single. That's it. Nova since then has had a base runner reach on an error and another one on a walk, and that's been it for the Orioles. Seth Smith will take the pitch for a strike. Leadoff home run number 6 on the season for Seth, the second leadoff homer that Smith has had this year and his 4th career leadoff home run. The 0-1 delivery with a shift on against him will miss.
And take a look at Seth Smith's home run. First at bat for the Orioles. 105 miles an hour off the bat. 29 degrees. Just above the average. He got on it. Sitting on a heater. It's a two-seamer up in the zone.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him, and that's going to be in there. And the count will go to 1-2. Nova's thrown 12 out of 19 first pitch strikes. There you see the shift. With Harrison, the second baseman, out deep. Mercer, the shortstop, moved over. 1-2 delivery. Center field. McCutcheon's there. Make every day game day with the official Orioles Maryland license plate. To date, more than $130,000 raised for our community through the Orioles Charitable Foundation, thanks to the sales of these license plates. For more information and to get your official Orioles Maryland license plate, visit Orioles.com/plates. Red Sox leading the Yankees 4-1. Moreland's gone 1 for 2. Couple of RBIs for Boston. Masahiro Tanaka, the Yankees starter, 4 runs, 4 hits over 4. Pomerantz, no runs, 4 hits over 3+. So their first game. Boston has added another. It's now 5-1. As the Red Sox looking to overtake the Yankees for first. New York comes into the series 2 games ahead of Boston, 3.5 ahead of the Orioles. Tampa Bay 5.5 out and Toronto 6.
Yeah, thank goodness Tampa Bay's blown a bunch of saves, huh?
Yeah.
Or
that
leads.
one up the middle and knocked down by Harrison, but Jones has got his second infield hit.
Adam Jones laid down a beautiful bunt to get his first knock. See Harrison, he wanted it. little talk back and forth here. Harrison think he's got a beat on it. Certainly did hit his glove, and like any infielder, it hits your glove, you think you got a shot at hitting anybody out. Harrison wanted that out there.
He was shaded over that way, but not enough to make the play, and he and Adam exchanged the what fours out there.
He said, you take it away from McCutchen, I'm going to take one away from you.
Adam said, no, you're not. Here's Manny Machado. He is struck out, hit into a double play. Again, the infield shifted, not completely, but Harrison almost behind second base, so that whole right side wide open. Machado, against the Pirates' lifetime, has had 2 hits in 17 at-bats. 1-0 delivery, and that's going to be inside. So Nova falls behind Manny, 2-0.
Yeah, some good takes on those inside fastballs. Nova got him to roll over a ground ball on one of those inside 2-seamers. Good patience there. That'll show the patience again. 2-0.
Adam, not a big lead at first. 2-0 delivery on the way, and Manny will put it up in the air to left. Frazier. Adam tags and stays, throw into second base, and there are 2 down.
That's how Nova makes it through. You know, consistent diet of fastballs, but a lot of times it's just about the location, the right time. 2-0, just get working to the top of the zone. Hitters get a little big when it gets to be that cookie time. 2-0, 3-1 counts. They're taking advantage of the elevated fastball.
So Mike Trumbo coming up, a walk, and he's grounded out. Before that single by Adam Jones, Nova had not given up a hit through 17 Oriole batters. 2 down. 30-year-old right-hander last year went 12-8 combined between 2 teams. What a good year. 2 away.
Well, what's impressive with me, you know, we talked about the 3 walks he had when he went over to the Yankees. He had 25 with the Yankees in the first half, and his ability to make that much of a change, you know, whether it just be that comfort factor, getting out of New York City, the fact that he doesn't have to face the bottom third of an American League lineup, but he just became a completely changed pitcher.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I haven't seen anything where he said there was one mechanical thing or something that happened. Maybe just a maturing overall. But he's a veteran pitcher.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything mechanical. I think it was just a matter of somebody saying, why don't you just throw more strikes?
Yeah.
You know, and he took it to heart, and it worked out for him.
It's my favorite Chuck Tanner story. I've repeated it so often, but I'll never forget. When I first came in, Chuck was managing the Pittsburgh Pirates, and kid, come here, during batting practice, hauled me up the screen. He said, I want you to count the number of hits the next 3 guys get in batting practice. And they got a couple of hits each, and I said, well, there were 6 hits, you know, with 3 batters. He said, and that's during BP. Just think what you could do if you throw strikes in a game. And I never forgot that. I mean, Chuck used to tell his pitchers that. I mean, it's not that easy, but it's true. I mean, you're not going to get anybody out if you don't throw some strikes.
Right.
And if you do throw strikes, your chances are pretty good that you're going to get some outs.
Yeah. And, you know, the fact that Nova throws basically fastballs, the fact that he moves it around makes it a little bit unpredictable. You know, he's getting more movement inside, you know, backdoor, and then occasionally throw the 4-seam fastball out there on the outside corner, but work the top as well. And that may have been the biggest change, I think, for Nova, because he was primarily sinker slider when he was with the Yankees. He loved his cutter. And now that he's gone to more fastballs and more in the zone, he's using the top of the strike zone a little bit more, especially against the lefties, and we've seen him elevate even on the righties.
Yep, good point. He's gone over 100 pitches only twice. 104 the high. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and inside corner strike. So Big K, Nova gets it. Mark didn't think so. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Nova continues to dominate. Pirates 4, Orioles 1. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. Great honor for the Orioles to have here the women's Maryland lacrosse team, the NCAA Division I champion.
I'll tell you what, it is becoming a title town down there in Maryland. Women's team, obviously congratulations for winning the title for women's lacrosse. The men's team also won the lacrosse title this year, beating Ohio State, and the men's baseball team, Maryland baseball team, in the super regional right now, vying for a shot out to Omaha.
The women have won 3 of the last 4 national championships in Division I, and that is their 14th overall lacrosse championship for the women.
And pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. Here the Orioles are down by 3 as the Pirates bat. We're in the 7th inning, kind of moving along here. Mike and I were commenting between innings, this is a soft game. And by that I don't mean it's any less competitive, but it's just a game that's very quiet.
Yeah.
The pitchers have dominated after the first couple of innings. 1-1 delivery on the way, and taken by Jaso, who's got an RBI double, and he has popped out.
Yeah, I think Nova's made it kind of give it that feel. The Orioles offense, it's been so electric here on the homestand, only limited it to 3 hits.
And that'll be taken down low. Only 1 walk, 5 strikeouts for Gausman, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for Nova. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Jaso, Cervelli, and Mercer, bottom third, due up and cut hard through that one. 6 Ks for Kevin.
Good fastball there from Kevin Gausman, up over 100 pitches. Good to see him working in the 7th inning.
Oh, 2 strikes, sorry. 3-2, my bad. I thought he had him.
I did too.
I swear he was walking away. Foul back.
He walked out of the screen.
He did. He walked away. That's enough for me. Convinced me he was out. 3-2 on Jaso. Sorry, John. Didn't mean that. Big open stance. 3-2 delivery on the way, and takes advantage of it. So rather than a strikeout, he's got a leadoff single here in the 7th inning. So Jaso is on. MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Aside from that 1 inning, the 2nd inning, and seems like there have been these big innings for Kevin Gausman. That's been really his bugaboo. Knocked him out of games. Even in his last start, he had the 5 walks, but there was 1 inning that kind of set him back, put him over the top.
And in this one, it was the 2nd inning, 3 runs, 4 hits for the Pirates. Cervelli will wait as Jaso's back. Cervelli has flied out and grounded out. Bullpen action for the first time. Donnie Hart. Cervelli, lifetime a .257 hitter against the Orioles, coming with the Yankees primarily. Couple of home runs off the O's. Cervelli will take a slider away. Pirates playing in their 131st year of National League Baseball. One of the real historic franchises in the majors. 1-0 count. Jaso, a couple of dives back into the bag. Base stealers 2 for 2 off Kevin Gausman. More likely just trying to keep Jaso in line for that double play. He does have 4 stolen bases, 4 out of 5. 1-0 delivery, and there he goes. Caleb Joseph's throws right there. You are out by a mile. Caleb right on the money. Retiring 29% of base stealers this year, and Jaso's retired.
Boy, that was solid right there from Caleb Joseph. That's on a breaking ball too. A quick glove to hand transfer. How about Jonathan Scope straddling the base, and Jaso out by a good 5-6 feet there. Nice throw, Caleb Joseph.
Great work there. Joseph and Scope take that leadoff man out. Cervelli's got a 2-0 count, and Cervelli down to third, fair ball. Manny makes the spin and the move and the throw. as the defense comes up big here in the 7th.
Man, oh man. Yeah, some nice plays defensively, hoping to spark the offense on the other end. Take a look, Manny Machado. This is going to be a great look here. The chopper, he's got to create a little bit of an angle, but how about his eyes getting behind the baseball so we can see it a little bit better? Unbelievable glove work from Machado, but the body control as he whips himself around, gets himself under control to make the strong out.
And 2 down here in the 7th. Jody Mercer up. A double, RBI, and a ground ball out. Mercer with a 5-game hit streak.
Take a look at the interleague records here. Orioles impressive with 64 and 40, 615 winning percentage. I think Buck Showalter prepares himself for these interleague games. As much as you hear some of the complaints, he has versatile players to help overcome some of the times when he plays in the National League Park and has to pinch hit. I think that's been a big key. We've seen teams get bogged down in interleague play with just one-dimensional players.
It's really important when in the National League ballparks, having that bench we've talked about that Buck likes to have, so you have versatility. Fouls that one off, and an 0-2 count on Mercer. So Kevin Gausman looking to go through the first 7 innings at least of this ball game. Orioles well within striking distance, trailing by just 3. They had the early lead 1-0 on the Smith home run in the first. Pirates got 3 in the second and have led since. That'll skip all the way to the backstop. And a 1-ball 2-strike count from Gausman.
Man, this has been a pretty impressive outing. Kevin has actually started to pitch really well. Those 4 or 5 outings.
1-2 delivery back up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So second hit of the ball game as Mercer's been involved in this one. 2 for 3 RBI, and with 2 away, Pirates keep the 7th alive, and that's going to be it for Gausman. I think more than just that single, it's the way the last few pitchers have been delivered by Kevin. So he's given the Orioles a chance. He will come out of the ball game, and the Pirates will continue here in the 7th.
But a pretty good performance. A rough second inning. He had the heater working, getting Polanco there and controlling the lefties pretty well. How about the changeup? Nice fastball to get McCutchen on the outside corner. Another good change to get Polanco. Here Kevin Gausman's controlled the lefties at a pretty good rate. He did today as well. 6 2/3 strong inning, scattering to 8 hits. A rough second inning. It leads to 3 runs. Solo shot makes it 4 earned runs on the day. A pretty good job by Kevin Gausman. 113 pitches thrown. Now it's time for the Jiffy Lube pitching change. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. Well, the Orioles pulling Donnie Hart out of the pen. Take a look at his numbers. This will be his 23rd appearance this year. 4.41 earned run average. Ballooned a little bit. A couple earned runs on this homestand. Opponent sitting 319, so an elevated opponent batting average. See the inherited runner stranded at 13 and 18. Donnie Hart's looking to settle back in.
Mercer's on at first base. Here's the throw over. Frazier up has had an 0 for 3. Fly ball, ground ball, and a strikeout for Adam Frazier, their left fielder. 2 down, 1 on in the top of the 7th inning. Even with the bag at third, Manny Machado recognizing the speed of Frazier even with 2 down. Pitch on the way. Frazier's done real well against left-handers this year. He's hitting .346 off lefties. Not a lot of at bats, but he's 9 for 26 in those chances. Donnie Hart trying to get the inning over with right here. 2 fine defensive plays have really helped. Caleb Joseph getting Jesus attempting to steal first out, and then Manny with that great play on Cervelli. Or this could have been an inning for the Pirates.
Well, you got that right. Yeah, lead off base hit. Caleb shut that one down.
1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 away. Trying to work him inside, get to the fists, misses, and a 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Good try with the fastball inside. Donnie's some of his problems here recently, like most pitchers when they have struggles, it's a fastball command. So all over the place with the heater, just trying to paint that inside corner there.
Ready with a 2-1 delivery. That's when he wanted to hit. Frazier got one. Sometimes you only get one of those per at bat, and he couldn't catch up to that one.
Good pitch by Donnie Hart. Moving up the count. Different ways he can attack here. Of course, very tough on the lefty-lefty with that sidearm delivery. And he's a cross-body firer as well.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Hart's delivery to him, and that one was punched away, foul. Hart worked against the Red Sox in the last outing. Gave up a couple of hits, 1 run, and an inning worked. Came up May 27 from AAA. And has become important out of the bullpen as a left-hander. Try and get big outs like this. Frazier 2-2. Mercer has had no read on Hart here in this at bat. He's been leaning back to the bag as Donnie comes to the plate, so he's playing it very tight to the vest at first base.
Yeah, and I think maybe Donnie Hart or even John Russell from the bench thinking, well, he might be just playing coy here, so better make sure.
2-2 delivery on the way and hit him. Donnie just raises his head to the sky.
Get back in on that inside corner with the fastball.
So Hart with a hit batter will put runners on at first and second base.
Turn into it. You need to really try to get out of the way. You know, lefties really got to fight to keep that front side in there. Anyway, you start flinching, you're going to have a lot more problems. Roger McDowell going to go out and have a quick chat with Donnie Hart. Come up with a game plan here against Mr. Harrison.
Frazier hit for the 3rd time, and the 3rd time Hart has hit a batter, and a ball to Jimenez, who was starting, of course, moved to the bullpen, is warming up. Roger staying out there as long as he can to give Jimenez a little bit of extra time. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Well, we always talk about big moments in games. This is one of them. There are 2 down here in the 7th inning. Runners on at first and second base. Harrison, who's gone 0 for 3. Josh Harrison is at the plate. Harrison will take the pitch down low for a ball, and Harrison gets to see the left-hander. He's hit .300 against lefties, .310 against righties. Base hit here will probably pick up a run with Mercer the lead runner at second and Frazier on at first. Donnie Hart 1-0. Outside with it 2-0.
And trying to stay away. A couple changeups right there. Not feeling very comfortable with the fastball. Typically Donnie Hart not afraid to rush that heater in on the righties. Throw it down that inside corner for a strike and then in off the plate for effect.
Here's the 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's not close. No, the count will go to 3-0. You got Polanco, another left-hander on deck. Would they work around him to get to the lefty?
Yeah, it appears that's what they're doing. You know, with not a backup plan, they didn't want to go double barrel. Try to get this second or third out.
Taking, and that's what that was. That was a pitch around. So the walk surrendered will load the bases. But there are two down. Only the second walk Oriole pitchers have given up in the ball game. Well, it gets a little more monumental in purpose here. Number 3 hitter Polanco, 2 strikeouts, and he has drawn a walk. Polanco stands in with the bases loaded, 7th inning, 2 away, with the Pirates leading it by a score of 4-1. He's had 1 grand salami in his career. Polanco this year 0 for 4 with the bases loaded. Mercer, Frazier, Harrison the base runners. Hart delivers to him. It is in there for a strike. Polanco 244 off lefties. 29 points lower than against right-handers, but still not a bad average. 0-1 the count. Swing and a ground ball. Second base. Jonathan Scope up, and the strategy works. They get the out. Pirates are retired. No runs and a couple of hits, no errors. They leave the bases loaded. 7th inning stretch time here at Camden Yards. The Pirates 4 and the Orioles 1. When you get a pitcher like this, Nova, the way he's working right now, the players, do you kind of come down a little bit and you get lulled to sleep a little bit or not?
You're waiting for one swing.
There's one swing way back right field, and goodbye, home run.
Perfect.
Chris Davis onto the flag court for the Orioles to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. Davis gets the homer and the Orioles pull within 2.
Yeah, basically you're waiting for that one swing, something to ignite the offense. Unfortunately, the Orioles haven't been able to put a lot of pressure on Nova. A couple solo home runs right now. You'd like to get a couple guys on base and then get a big bomb out of there, but the crusher hopefully hitting the Orioles offense here in the bottom of the 7th.
So the Orioles come within 2, and Chris continues with a hot bat, picking up his 13th home run of the season, and that ignites the crowd. And if you weren't awake, that'll wake you up. Pitch is taken down low. Our Alexis Towson drive of the game.
Oh, it's an elevated changeup. It looked like it went out and touched it. It's on that outside corner, and the crusher up in the flag court.
That one down the line and left. Jonathan Schoop way back, and goodbye, home run! Back-to-back homers for the Orioles. Davis and Schoop deliver them, and it is a 1-run ball game.
That's what's made this team so dangerous in the past, the ability to hit the long ball, never ever counting themselves out of it. Back-to-back home runs, picking this offense up. Jonathan Schoop, 9th home run of the year.
So the Orioles blasting away. Our Lexus Towson drive of the game. The Orioles' #1 volume Lexus dealer. 7 straight years. Come see why at LexusofTowson.com. Back-to-back home runs for the Orioles off Nova, who had been cruising, and that will be it for the Pittsburgh starter. Schoop got around on that, concerned whether it would stay fair.
Yeah, hanging breaking ball. It's crushed.
So Jonathan and the Orioles long ball comes into play. They've all been solo shots, but good enough to make it a 1-run game. And they've sent the trainer out, came out with Clint Hurdle on the visit to the mound, and whether it is for a physical problem or just to make the change, Clint Hurdle has signaled to the bullpen. So Moya, if they're going to take Nova out of the ball game, and the Orioles get to the Pittsburgh pen.
Cruise control, but Crush Davis and Jonathan Schoop take a back-to-back, taking the 3 earned runs on him. Of course, 3 solo shots. Seth Smith involved there in the first inning. Only 6 innings for Nova tonight. 87 pitches. Mystery injury leads Juan Nicasio out of the Pittsburgh bullpen. 27 games for Nicasio. 144 earned run average. Big arm. 24 punch-outs in 25 innings of work. See the opponents hitting just .209. Overall, yeah, he can rush that heater up there. Works in the mid-90s. Got 99 in the back pocket, primarily fastball slider pitcher. First batter's hitting just 136 off Nicasio. 3 for 22.
He was a workhorse last year as both a starter and reliever. He had 52 appearances, 12 of them as a starter for Clint Hurdle's ball club. He ended up 10-7 with a 4.5 ERA. Nicasio, a veteran, 30 years old, out of the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. And the Orioles have woken up. No sooner did we get the question of whether or not they could find a way to get over the spell Nova put on them than they found a way to do that by using the long ball. So Nicasio, he's been scored upon just 4 of the 26 times he has been out on the mound. He gets a clean start in the inning, nobody on, nobody out here in the 7th, with the Orioles 2 runs in on the back-to-back home runs. And here's Trey Mancini. You can maybe make it 3 in a row. He has grounded out and struck out. Delivery by Nicasio be fouled the other way. Now the Orioles have had 4 back-to-back home run situations this year, and Jonathan Scope has been involved in all of them. The back-to-back home runs, Young-Soo Kim, Trey Mancini twice, and now Davis, and the other guy each time was Jonathan Scope. 0-1 delivery taken up high. Apparently he's decided what to look for after the guy ahead of him hits a home run.
Yeah, pretty impressive. That's a big one too for Jonathan Scope.
Mancini has struck out, grounded out, 1-1 delivery on the way, and he'll cut through a heater. So a big night for Tracy Bonner, our Maryland lottery contestant. That's $500 for each of the home runs hit by the Orioles. 3 of them in the ball game. Smith, who got the first one. 1-2 delivery on the way, reaching, and will foul it away.
Locating that fastball pretty well. Throwing it hard. 96 miles an hour. Gets ahead in the count, working that outside corner.
Casio now trying to protect a 1-run lead. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And he'll move that one outside. That'll be missed. Two balls, 2 strikes. Orioles on the comeback trail here against the Pirates. 2-2 delivery to Mancini, and he'll foul it back over the screen.
A nice pass right there, though, on the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Mancini rarely gets off the heater. It's an adjustment to the off-speed pitches. Certainly have to be able to protect when you get the 2 strikes. You do not want that cheese to get by you.
2-2 delivery on the way again. And Mancini will go down swinging. So Nicasio comes on and strikes out the first batter he faces. And that's the first out of the 7th inning.
Take a look at the fastball here. Actually, Cervelli wanting it inside. Ends up becoming a pretty hittable fastball, but tough with 2. That one gets by Mancini.
Nicasio last year as a starter went 5-5 with an ERA of 5. And then 5-2 as a reliever with an ERA of 3.8. 40 relief appearances. First season with the Pirates was last year. J.J. Hardy 0 for 2. He has ground out and popped out. Nicasio's 1-0 delivery to J.J. to second. Little shift on there. Harrison had moved over to the bag. And there are 2 down here in the 7th inning. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50, supporting the American Diabetes Association. 145 walks, $7,250. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. 2 away, bases empty. Caleb Joseph. He has flied out and popped out. That's going to be a base hit into right center field. Polanco coming over. So the Orioles get the potential tying run on in the 7th inning on the Joseph base hit with 2 down.
A nice little piece of hitting right there by Caleb Joseph. So going up to right center field. Will prompt a call to the bullpen.
So the matchups begin here with Smith scheduled to come to the plate. 2 down, 1 on, a 1-run game.
His 30th appearance for the Buccos. .63 earned run average. Got a couple wins out of the Bucks bullpen. 30 punch-outs, so he is a power lefty. Opponent sitting just 165. And a big-time arm. Can rush it up there mid to high 90s. Actually up over 100 miles an hour at times. Has a slider and a changeup to go along with it. The inherited runner stranded at 82%. Pretty good number right there.
Joey Rickard is going to be the pinch hitter for Seth Smith with the left-hander coming on. Smith delivered that leadoff homer for the Orioles. It was 1 for 3. And Joey Rickard will come on to face the 25-year-old left-hander out of Venezuela. He was formerly with Washington, involved in the deal in 16 with Mark Melanson going the other way. So Rivera won. Runner on at first base. There are 2 down. Caleb Joseph, the base hit. He's there. And Joey Rickard stands in a pinch hitting role.
Rickard's been pretty hot here lately.
See what he can do against the left-hander. 2 down. Rivera's delivery, and that'll be a fastball taken up high. So the Orioles making it interesting as Davis and Scope have had the back-to-back home runs. Givens and O'Day in the bullpen for the O's. Rickard hitting .275 off lefties, actually almost 30 points higher than against righties, as he's been in those platoon situations, getting his chances against left-handed starters in particular.
Definitely taking advantage of his playing time here recently, hitting over 300 on this homestand. Showalter looking for Rickard to get that big 2-out hit.
1-1 delivery down the line, not deep, headed into foul territory, and that's where the souvenir will go. So Rickard will make his way back. Orioles, who got set down by Nova, 17 in a row without a hit from the end of the first inning through the base hit in the 6th by Adam Jones. Come alive against him with the home runs by Davis and Scope here in the 7th. Knocked Nova out. Casio works 2/3 of an inning, a strikeout, a hit, and responsible for the runner at first base. Rivera with a 1-2 delivery on the way, and Rickard will chase up high. So Rivera will get the strikeout. The Orioles will get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Back-to-back Davis and Scope make this one a 1-run game. Jonathan Scope having it on the left, Davis on the right with the back-to-back, and in the middle Seth Smith, who led the ball game off with a homer. Unfortunately for the Orioles, nobody on when they got him, but they got themselves back to a one-run game.
Yeah, right back into the ball game with a couple home runs. What the Orioles offense really built on, their power. You know, Nova had them shut down, really. That Seth Smith home run to lead off the ball game for the Orioles offense, and he just put the stop on it. He said, no more offense for you guys, until that big 7th inning when Chris Davis hit one in the flag court, and then Jonathan Scope, the master of hitting the back-to-back home runs, answer. So it's nice to see the team back in it. They seemed a little flat, and it was because of Nova just pounding the strike zone, getting some weak contact right there. But they spark up, and now it's a bullpen game.
And now it's going to go to the bullpen. The Orioles will turn it over as Gosman's going to be out of there. He did his job. He gave the Orioles a chance to get back in it, and they have.
I thought Kevin did a nice job, you know, aside from that 2nd inning. Give away to Michael Givens out of the pen. 5 wins for Givens out of the O's bullpen, holding opponents down to that 219 overall batting average. First hitters, though, up to 250 for Givens.
David Freese will be up as we go to the 8th. Freese, a single and a home run. He's also hit into a double play. Joey Rickard has come on to play for Smith in right field. 0-1 count from Givens. Hart worked a 1/3 of an inning, had a walk. There's some heat at 97, and Freese exactly what he expected, and still couldn't catch up to that pitch.
Yeah, tough to get to that heater. Up and in, 97 miles an hour, and of course from the side from Michael Givens, so not seeing it too well.
0-2 the count. David Freese out and away, and he will go down 1 away here in the 8th.
Just turn it up another notch. 99 miles an hour from Givens at the top of the zone. Big first out. Take a look at him cutting this one loose. Whew, tough to get to. Great location on all 3 pitches from Michael Givens.
Givens now with 28 strikeouts in 28 innings worked. He has given up 23 hits. Here's Josh Bell. Bell, a base hit, a run scored in the 2nd. He has struck out and grounded out, and will take the pitch down low. Bell, part of that 3-run 4-hit 2nd. McCutchen an RBI single, Jaso an RBI double, Mercer an RBI and a ground ball out, and then the home run by Freese in the 6th inning for the Pirates runs. Started after it, let it go, and a 2-0 count.
Great changeups right there from Michael Givens, and a nice job by Bell laying off.
2-0 delivery. Givens will miss with that down low again. So with 1 away, a 3-0 count on Bell. McCutchen is waiting on deck. Sets up away and low, and the pitch will be there for a strike. Bell taking that one, and it goes to 3-1.
You better make another quality pitch here. 3-1 count. Bell, a very dangerous hitter. Good power numbers.
3-1 delivery to him, and he draw a walk. So each pitcher for the Orioles has surrendered 1 walk. And here in the 8th inning with 1 away, McCutchen will be coming up with a runner on. RBI single. McCutchen's gone 1 for 3. Up to 29 driven in now. The ever dangerous breeze has virtually gone away here at the ballpark tonight. Didn't have much of one anyway, but it's died down now. Pitch is in there for a strike. Andrew McCutchen taking a look down at 3rd. Joey Cora, 3rd base coach, relaying the signs. Josh Bell on at first base. And a big cut. Givens keeps it down and away 0-2.
Another good fastball there. Givens starting McCutchen off with a get me over slider to get into the count, and then bringing the noise. 97. Hit it if you can.
0-2 looking for a strikeout against McCutchen. Gosman 5 strikeouts. Givens has got 1. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him, and he reaches and fouls it off. Givens making his first appearance against the Pittsburgh Pirates in his career. Boy, what a part he's playing in that bullpen now for the Orioles. Will they get their closer back with everybody moved up? 0-2 delivery. Takes it and he's gone. 2 strikeouts for Michael Givens.
I think Andrew McCutchen, veteran hitter, sometimes can outguess yourself. I'm thinking here, after that healthy cut on the fastball, he's probably thinking, no way he's going to throw me another heater. He's got to throw a slider. Painted on the inside corner. Going down looking.
That'll bring up John Jaso, the only Pirate who has faced Givens before, and he's only had 1 at bat, 0 for 1. 2 down, runner at first. Jaso a double and an RBI. Picked up a leadoff single in the 7th, and a big play. Got caught stealing. 2 big defensive plays in the 7th inning that shut the Pirates down and that looked like they might have an inning. Bell leaning with his lead, not going. Jaso takes it down low.
Yeah, you wonder if there was a missed sign there. Jaso, a few stolen bases on the year, but the Orioles had just picked over. Maybe they had seen something tipped maybe with a sign, and next pitch Jaso's off and running.
And Manny follows that with a great defensive play right behind him on Cervelli. 1-1 delivery on the way. Jaso probably has as much of an open stance as you're going to see in the game today. He closes it way up. That's his stride into the pitch. But he almost has that front foot on the chalk line sometimes. Right there, you see how far he is, almost out of the batter's box. 2-1 delivery on the way. That is there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
I see they're just catching that outside corner. Yeah, a lot of hitters use that open stance for different reasons. Now, most guys use it so they can open up and get both eyes on the pitcher. Other guys use it just as more of a balance reference, because if you're squared up with your feet, sometimes the hitter just falls forward too much. With your foot staggered back, you control your rhythm a little bit.
And a strike call. Givens strikes the side out here in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles have the top of the order coming up to try and get the lead in the 8th. Of the short 2-game set against the Pirates. Wade Miley will be on the mound against Chad Kuhl. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 6:30. O's Extra presented by Southwest. Our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Take a look at tomorrow's starters. Of course, Wade Miley coming off a sensational performance, 7 strong innings, just the 1 earned run. How about that earned run average at 2.82 for Wade Miley? Take on Chad Kuhl. He's had some tough luck this year. Look at that earned run average up at 6.02. Pretty good arm, but troubles with some walks. See 20 walks on the year.
That'll be tomorrow night. This one, game 1 still up for grabs. Rivero came on to finish up the inning, getting a strikeout on Rickard, the left-hander. Adam Jones at the plate. Adam has had 2 singles, 2 for 3. Pitch will be outside for a ball. Orioles bat, bottom half of the 8th inning. They are down by a run. Adam on a big cut. Pitch tailing away from him. That'll even the count up from Rivero at 1-1. Darren O'Day getting ready in the bullpen. Adam hitting only a .197 off left-handers and .278 against the righties. 1-1 delivery to short. Mercer. Jones retired, 1 away.
Mercer pretty steady out there at shortstop.
Yeah, he's a good one. He really anchors the middle of that infield. Tied for second in games among National League shortstops. Gone 34 games since making his last error.
Yeah, he's been steady, and he's one of those type of players like J.J. Hardy. He'll do everything routine and then has enough in the tank to make that exceptional athletic play that shortstops are supposed to make.
Manny Machado's had an 0 for 3. Manny against left-handers, 242, 208 off righties. There's pitch. Manny going for a tie game, 1-1.
Get him out in front right now, and a couple change-ups, off-speed pitches. 88, 89 on the off-speed. Rushing it up there around 100 with the fastball.
1-1 delivery. Another one he tails away at 91, 1-2.
Change-up.
Rivero ready with the 1-2 delivery. And wow. In, away, up, and gets the strikeout.
Yeah, 3 change-ups. A couple good ones in there as well. And then 101 at the top of the zone. That's an aggressive arm right there. Tough to get on top of that heater after a couple off-speed pitches.
Rivero's first season, full season in the majors last year. He appeared for Washington the end of 15, then the start of 16. Well, the Orioles with these bats, chance to tie on one swing. Trumbo's had an 0 for 2 and a walk, has grounded out, struck out. A 1-0 count on Mark. He's hitting .296 off left-handers with 3 home runs.
How about Mark Trumbo? 6 interleague games, doing some serious damage. .375, a couple homers, 4 steaks in those 6 games. Going to come up big here for the Orioles with 2 outs.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Trumbo frozen on that one, but the pitch will miss. Tight ball game in 1-run games. The Orioles 10-8. Pittsburgh's gone 10-10 in 1-run ball games this year. See if this one is a 1-run game one way or the other, or in the air, not deep, center field. McCutchen. A good job of the left-hander. Rivero retires the side in order. We go to the 9th inning. O'Day will come on to pitch. Pirates 4, the Orioles 3. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Annapolis Arts Week, a week-long celebration of Annapolis art and culture. Find the complete schedule of events at AnnapolisArtsWeek.com. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick. Great ball game going to the ninth.
And Orioles going to roll Darren O'Day out of the bullpen. This will be his 24th appearance for the O's this year. Picked up a win, a couple saves as well. 3.63 earned run average continues to come down. Slow start to the year, banged up a little bit, and that flu bug early on in the year coming out of spring training, but has settled in and is back to the Darren O'Day we know. Opponents hitting just 200. He has been on his game, locating all three of his pitches. First batter faced down to just 143.
The Darren will work to 8-9-1 in the Pirates order. Cervelli coming up has an 0 for 3. Francisco Cervelli against O'Day, top of the ninth inning. Cervelli a 1 for 4 lifetime off Darren. They give Cervelli the middle of the infield, outfield straight away. Watson, the closer, getting ready in the bullpen for the Pirates. 0-1 count. Darren O'Day's 0-1 delivery. That's there. Darren has worked 4 previous games in his career against the Pirates, giving up no runs on 1 hit in 4 innings, a walk and 4 strikeouts. As we said, last time the Pirates were here was 2014, season in which the Orioles took the season series from the Pirates. Orioles are 7-1 at home forever against Pittsburgh. 0-2 delivery on the way, and that's up and away.
Get ahead of Darren O'Day. He's got a couple different weapons he can use to attack Cervelli. We worked that slider out that outside corner, but top of the zone is always a nice choice for O'Day.
One ball, 2 strike count. Missed a little bit up high. 2-2.
Man.
Close.
Yeah, real close.
Caleb Joseph continuing to do the work behind the plate for the Orioles. Wellington Castillo recovering from that groin injury. Hopes to be doing some simulated work in New York, simulated games there. They're not sure if they're going to send him down for any rehab game or not. 2-2, pitch on the way, and he gets it by him.
Cervelli a little in between, really knowing what to look for here. You got to be patient with the Darren O'Day slider. Allows him to sneak that fastball right by him. Well located in that outer third. Good pitch from O'Day.
Got word when Ivan Nova was taken out, Clint Hurdle came out with the trainer, and they say he has left knee inflammation on the starter, Ivan Nova. So he's day to day.
Interesting.
That's when the back-to-back home runs by Davis and Scope came, and after that he was pulled. Nova gave up 3 runs, 5 hits over 6. He had a walk and 4 strikeouts. Pitcher of record for the Pirates, Kevin Gausman, 4 runs, 8 hits, 6 2/3. Pitcher of record for the Orioles. Hart, Givens, and now O'Day have come out of the bullpen. O'Day's delivery. That's there for a strike. Mercer's had a fine night. Double, single, RBI, and a ground ball out. Jody Mercer in the number 9 spot. Frazier waiting on deck. Pirates have won 2 road series. They are 2-5-2 in series on the road this year. 0-2 pitch will be away. Orioles have continued to win their home series. They've lost only 1, going 2-2 against Boston. First time they've had a tie in a home series, so they're now 8-1-1 in series at home.
Yeah, they have played really well here at Camden Yards, and they have for a number of years now.
Down to first, fair ball, and the out recorded. Davis gets it. A one-handed. I think I better swing at this swing.
Yeah, Yeah, just put it in play. You never know. A tough pitch, obviously, from Darren O'Day. Nasty slider, and Mercer just reaching out, trying to hope it goes foul. Stays fair territory, and Chris Davis there to scoop it up for big second out.
2 away in the ninth. Top of the order. Here's Adam Frazier. Hit by a pitch, 0 for 3. Ground ball, strikeout, fly ball for the Pirates leadoff batter. And that'll be in there for a strike. 3 runs in the second. The home run by David Freese in the 6th, which is now the difference in this ball game. The only home run for the Pirates. The Orioles 3 homers. Smith, Davis, Scope accounting for the 3 runs for the O's. 0-1, foul ball. 26,724 the announced attendance for the ball game tonight. 2-6, 7-2-4 for the first of 2 against the Pirates.
Darren's done a nice job getting ahead of 3 hitters he's faced. He's found a way to come up with the big put-away pitch. Nice clean inning for him.
Gives him one to look at up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count from Darren O'Day. Two down, looking to end the inning right here. 1-2 delivery. Not yet, as that one is fouled back. Home runs hit in the ball game tonight. Haven't been a lot of other chances. The Pirates 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and the Orioles are 0 for 1. Only had 1 shot with a runner in scoring position in the ball game. That was in the 3rd inning. And that came via an error. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. O'Day's pitch. Frazier battling.
Yeah, Frazier just fighting off the fastballs outside, even the elevated heater. Caleb Josephs keeps putting that fastball down. Off speed pitch. It seems like he'll be right on. Trying to wait for a mistake. That group of pitches away.
Frazier has struck out only 19 times and drawn 14 walks. 1-2 delivery again. 2-2.
Real nice try. Good pitch from O'Day. Might as well go back in there. He doesn't even look like he's flinching on the inner third. He's looking on that outer third, even with the 2 strikes.
Frazier with a 2-2 delivery waiting, and another one in there. Frazier's first season in the majors last year, he played 66 with the Pirates. He hit .301. 25-year-old out of Athens, Georgia, now lives in Tennessee. Split the season, AAA Pirates, and now their leadoff hitter. Three-two, 2 down. O'Day delivers, and he'll be on. So the inning will stay alive, continuing the trend. 4 pitchers, 4 walks for the Orioles. Each has had 1. And it'll bring O'Day to face Harrison now. Harrison has had a walk. He is 0 for 3. Pirates second baseman against the Orioles. Lifetime 4 hits, 21 at bats. Had a good year this year. Big average, home runs, and driving in runs. Two down. O'Day with a quick toss over. Frazier back to the bag. McCutchen, the leader for the Pirates in runs batted in. 29. Harrison waiting on O'Day, and he'll wait a little longer. Frazier's challenged him a little bit with a pretty good lead over there.
Yeah, he's got a couple stolen bases on the year. He's been caught 4 times though. But certainly an opportunity to get himself in scoring position. The bigger bats coming up for the Pirates. A big tack on run would be really important.
Harrison still waiting to see a pitch. Runner not going. Is that a pitch out?
Yes, it was.
1-0. Well, the Orioles thought Frazier was going to be running. Only 2 out of 6 for him. Runner not going.
Good slider. To a righty, it works almost like the changeup. 80 miles an hour, 9-10 miles an hour off his fastball. Locates that slider so well. See there on the outside corner. Darren can kind of manipulate the break on his slider as well. Front door at times, minimum break, and then sweep it across the plate on the outer edge.
1 ball, 1 strike. There he goes. Mo put up in the air. Adam Jones going back. He doesn't catch it. They're going to score. Off the wall. The runner going. Frazier will come in. Going to go for 3. A big triple. Harrison delivers an RBI triple and a 5-3 Pirate lead.
Boy, letting the bat by Frazier to get him up there. Working a base on balls at Darren O'Day, and then Harrison waiting on that slider, and this one stays in the middle. Goes and gets himself some, beating Adam Jones deep. Or a triple just out of Adams' reach there. Frazier able to score and get that important 5th run on the board.
So a big hit for Harrison. Gets his 2nd triple, his 19th RBI, and a 2-out RBI here in the 9th inning. Polanco, a walk. He's 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a ground ball out. As O'Day unable to find the final out before they got a run, and the pitch will be inside for a ball. So Polanco now with an RBI chance and 2 away. So credit Frazier, who got that walk. With 2 down, that set up the scoring opportunity. Blyer's going to get up to throw for the Orioles. Polanco waiting. The 1-0 delivery down to first and foul.
Yeah.
Even 1-1.
Frazier was behind 0-2. Showed some really good patience. Good strike zone discipline.
Well, as we told you, that's what the Pirates have been all about. Getting walks, and that's accounted for a number of the runs that they have picked up. Only 1 tonight, but a big one. Polanco 1-1, 2 down. Harrison off third base. O'Day's delivery. Big cut fouled off. Polanco getting a look at Darren O'Day for the first time in his career.
Oh, Kevin Gausman got Polanco at the top of the strike zone. Darren O'Day's best pitch, that rising fastball. Let's see if it tacks up there here.
Darren, the 1-2 delivery on the way. Polanco sits on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Red Sox have had a lead all night long against the Yankees. 5-3 now. They're late in the ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ooh, he wound up on that one to try and drive it. A little underneath, 2-2.
Yeah, Darren went up there, but Polanco looked like he was hunting that pitch. Pretty healthy cut with the 2 strikes.
Darren's had some battles on these at bats. Frazier, Harrison, now Polanco, the top three in the order after there were a couple of outs, have really made him work. 2-2 delivery way inside, and already probably about 6 more pitches thrown by O'Day than what Buck and Roger McDowell would like to have seen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, I think it goes right back to that Frazier at bat. Just losing him kind of maybe broke Darren O'Day's focus a little bit. That mistake slider out over to Harrison.
Harrison off third base. Full count delivery on the way. Polanco takes it and he's gone. So O'Day gets him, but the big run scores. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors and 1 left on base. Orioles have Davis, Scope, Trey Mancini due up, bottom of the 9th. For the Pirates, note on this date in our Major League notebook, it was 1944 and it was D-Day. Major League Baseball canceled all games due to the D-Day invasion of Normandy, where the Allies began to drive the Germans back into Germany. And in 1939, the first Little League game was played where the Little League World Series is still played in Williamsport. This was the game played by 2 local teams that started it all. So D-Day remembered. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, the Pirates closer Tony Watson in the ball game. He's got 4 wins on the year. A couple of those wins have come after he's blown a save. 10 saves. He's has had 3 blown. Opponent's hitting .277 overall. He's given up 4 home runs. Good arm work, the fastball, low to mid 90s. Has a changeup and a slider to go along with it.
Mentioned Melanson got traded last year. He had been their closer. When Melanson got traded, Tony Watson took over. Ended up with 15 saves last year. Chris Davis against Watson, bottom of the 9th inning. Davis will fight off a pitch inside. Well, the Orioles trying to make a dramatic comeback here in the bottom half of the inning. Chris has faced him only once and hit a home run. 1 for 1 against the left-hander Watson. 0-1 waves at an 84.
And Chris has had some success against the Pirates in his career. A 3 home run game a couple seasons ago.
Home run his last time up, number 13 on the year. 1 for 3 in the ball game. With that home run, Chris now 13 for 24 with 6 home runs off Pittsburgh.
How about that one, reaching out and touching it? He was away. He had to go out and get it into the flag court.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Watson's delivery to him outside. Watson 10 out of 13 this year, 25 out of 31 since taking over the closer role last year for the Pirates. Doesn't walk many, only issued one in the last 7 2/3 innings, covering 8 games. 2-2 delivery, and that's what the Orioles needed. Davis delivers a base hit to start the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Orioles have the potential tying run coming to the plate.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Chris Davis. One of those streaks, 7-game hit streak, high fastball. They get to it pretty well. Slowed down that lower half and trusted those hands. Quick on the heater there, finding some outfield grass.
So Jonathan Schoop, he and Davis had back-to-back home runs in the 7th. Number 9 for Jonathan. 1 for 3 in the ball game. His first home run against the Pirates in his career coming tonight, and a strike taken on the outside corner. Schoop facing the left-hander Watson for the first time. Oh, 1 delivery in the air, center field. It's deep. It's back. It's back. Goodbye. Home run. Jonathan Schoop in the bottom of the 9th inning has tied the ball game up at 5. His second home run of the game.
That's it. That's the Orioles offense right there. I'm going to say Chris Davis's was a bloop, but the blooping and blast sounds good to tie this one up 5-5 in the 9th. No outs on the board. Jonathan Schoop continues to stay red hot.
Ball hit high in the air towards left field by Trey Mancini, but it's in the yard. And it'll be taken by Frazier as Mancini bid for 1 to put it away.
I'll take a look at the swing by Jonathan Schoop. Fastball about center cut, and he drives it back through the box straight away center field. McCutcheon giving chase. It's a good 10 rows up. What a swing from Jonathan Schoop, the captain. I'm loving that one.
So the Orioles tie it up at 5, only 1 down. J.J. Hardy. Watson's pitch to him is going to be in there for a strike. Hardy's gone 1 for 2 off Watson, and it's a blown save. Now Brad Brock, the Oriole closer, will get ready. 0-1 delivery outside. So the Orioles battle back. A 1-0 lead after Smith had a home run in the first. They fell behind 3-1 after the 2nd inning, and wait till the bottom of the 9th to get it tied up. Well, that will take Nova and Gausman, the starters, in an ND game. To third base. Frees up and gets it. 2 down. There's Jonathan. Multi-homer ball game. Last 2 at bats. Home runs numbers 9 and 10. And all of the runs, 5 runs accounted for by homers, 3 solo shots, and a 2-run homer.
Man. Impressive ABs by Jonathan Schoop.
Caleb Joseph, a base hit. He is 1 for 3. Caleb will take the pitch for a strike. Joseph getting his first look at Tony Watson. Fourth blown save for the left-hander. Swing and a miss. Pitch tailing down and away from Caleb, and an 0-2 count. Tracy Bonner, our Maryland lottery contestant. What a night. 4 home runs worth $500 each. 2 of them by Schoop. 0-2 delivery. Late on it, fouls it off the other way.
I see the good fastball, and it's really good when it's down in the zone. You get a little two-seam sinking action. Elevated obviously becomes much more hittable, especially when it's center cut like Jonathan Schoop got.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and it's fouled off, and that one got a pretty good piece of Cervelli. Home plate umpire Mike Estabrook hanging on to him.
Good fastball, mid-90s. Oh, that cringes the whole body right there. Cervelli just falling back into Estabrook's legs. Oh, man. I'll wake you up. Through some questions, making sure he's answering them all right.
Yep.
So there is a protocol now, concussion protocol. It looks all right.
That one really stunned him.
Didn't look good right there.
No. I think it's coming out. Any question, you don't chance it. So Cervelli is going to come out of the ball game. And hope that further tests will indicate he's all right and not a concussion problem. So Cervelli leaves with 2 down here in the 9th inning. And a couple of warm-up tosses will be given here. You're getting the equipment on in a hurry. Pitcher didn't want to throw them, so Jaso at first base will do the tossing with him. So Diaz warming up. The work behind the plate, hit in Cervelli's number 8 spot. And Clint Hurdle down to an emergency catcher for the rest of this game.
Yeah. Wait to see your frontline catcher get knocked out of there.
Tony Watson on the mound. Orioles 2 runs on the homer by Scope after Davis singled. Have tied the game up here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Caleb Joseph has had a base hit, 1 for 3. The count is 0-2. And delivery by Watson. That one's fouled off. The catcher.
Yeah, well, of course, Caleb walking that one down the line. Seen him do it as a catcher. The ball spinning back into fair territory, making sure that one stays foul.
Elias Diaz, the catcher, he had a start on Saturday night. Caught a couple in a row. Cervelli was not feeling well. 0-2 pitch on the way, and ate him up inside. Play's got to be made. Diaz makes the throw, and that will do it. And we're going to go for some free baseball, sports fans. The Orioles get 2 runs on 2 hits in the bottom of the 9th. Tie this ball game up at 5-5. We go to the 10th. game. So as you do at home, you bring your closer in, and that, of course, for the Orioles is Brad Brach, and here he is.
Yeah, 26th appearance out of the Orioles bullpen. 11 saves for the O's. 25 innings of work, 26 punch-outs and 9 walks for Brad Brach. Opponent's hitting 174 overall. He has given up the 3 long balls, so power right-hander. Big fastball from the side, mid-90s with the heater. Sweeping slider and that turbo change. First batters are hitting just 190 off Brach.
Brach has had 6 previous games against the Pirates in his career. He's gone 1-0 against them. 9 2/3 innings, a run on 5 hits, 12 strikeouts and 5 walks. So he's had some work. There's Jonathan Schoop, who sends us to the 10th with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th inning. Pirates bat here against Brach. Freeze his home run in the 6th inning. Looked like it might be enough, but not to be. He's had 2 hits in the ball game, gone 2 for 4, hit into a double play and struck out. The other 2 at bats, Brach's delivery will be taken away. Extra inning ball games. Orioles are 7-1 in extra inning games. Pirates are 5-4.
Well, the Orioles, of course, have that home run in their back pocket. The ability to hit that long ball. Of course, it's shown up big time in this ball game. Got him into this extra innings right there, Jonathan Schoop.
Chris Davis and he with the back-to-back homers earlier. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way by Brach. That's there. So he starts it out with a strikeout. Freeze retired.
And bringing the noise right here. Nasty fastball, 96 miles an hour. It was painted on the outside corner. Can't think of anything else. This one's going to get by you.
Well, for a team that doesn't strike out very often, the Orioles have put the strikeout numbers up. Gausman had 5, Givens had 3, Darren O'Day had 2, and now Brach has got 1. That's 11 total for a team that struck out only 19.4% of their plate appearances, which in the National League, as we mentioned earlier, was tied for 2nd best. 0-1 delivery on the way. That is taken by Josh Bell. Bell, a base hit in the 2nd inning, scored. McCutchen, Jaso, Mercer, Freeze, and Harrison have the RBIs for the Pirates. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Brach's delivery to him, lifted foul. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Mistake right there from Brad Brach. Fortunately, just the foul ball straight back.
Brad has become very aggressive in the closer role, coming after hitters like that. Fouled away by Bell to hold the count at 1-2. And that, in his role, has made him even more effective in getting guys out, saving ball games. So the Orioles have had Hart, Givens, O'Day, and Brach. Darren worked an inning, a run on a hit with a walk, 2 strikeouts. Pitch taken, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count to Bell with McCutchen waiting on deck.
Certainly trying to make him be, if he's going to beat you, do it away. Working that outside corner consistently.
2-2 delivery. And that will take him full. The Orioles have won 2 games where they have trailed after 8. They are 2-23. The Pirates have lost 2 games where they have had a lead after 8. 3 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way by Brad Brach. That's lifted to 3rd. Manny Machado's got it, and there are 2 down.
Nice play by Manny. Got to be ready for that. Steady a diet of pitches on that outside corner, especially with the 2 strikes. Lefty just trying to put it in play. Manny, like a cat, expecting that line drive, snaring the 2nd out of the inning.
2 down, bases empty. Here's McCutchen, a base hit his first time up in an RBI. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball out since. A McCutchen to short. Hardy circles. Gets him. Good job by Brock. Comes on and retires the side in order. Orioles will look for a run to wrap it up in the 10th. Top of the order. Rickert will lead it off. Major League Notebook of local interest was October 14, 1914. This was the church where Babe Ruth in Ellicott City was married. He got married after the season to Helen Woodford, and they have a copy in the church of the ceremony and of the certificate of marriage. When the season was over, Ruth returned to Baltimore and asked and received permission from his father to get married, and that's where it occurred, at St. Paul's Catholic Church in Ellicott City, about 12 miles from downtown. A little bit of local history on the Babe.
I love it. And take a look at Wade LeBlanc coming out of the Pirates bullpen. 23rd appearance. 3 wins out of the pen with a 2.41 earned run average. 28 strikeouts. Not known as a strikeout pitcher, more of the finesse type pitcher. Good feel for all of his offerings, holding opponents to that 214 batting average, only giving up a couple home runs. First batter at a 250 average. Orioles certainly like to get Joey Rickert on base.
So LeBlanc comes on for Watson, their closer, who will take a blown save away from the night. 2 runs, 2 hits in an inning worked. And LeBlanc, he worked on Saturday for an inning against the Mets. Only been scored on once in the last 9 times to the mound. So yet another left-hander. Shows bunt. Rickert will take the pitch in there for a strike. Joey came on, pinch hit for Seth Smith in the 7th inning and struck out swinging. The bats here in the bottom half of the 10th. Orioles need 1. Put it away. Down to third. Backhanded. Freeze. Picked at first base by John Jay. So there's some pretty good action at the corners.
Yeah. Now Freeze in tight, and after Joey Rickert showing that bunt, he makes a fine backhanded play, but then gets a little nonchalant on the throw. Yeah, gets a glove down there good, and then just a little too easy. And there, Jason with a nice pick on the back end, though, to dig him out of the dirt.
I think Freeze may have looked up and wait. Whoa, he's almost there.
Yeah, Rickert flying down the line. Yeah.
Here's Adam Jones. Adam with a 2 for 4, a bunt single, another infield hit. He has flied out and struck out. LeBlanc's delivery and a swing and a miss. 2-homer ball game by Jonathan Scope is his first multi-homer game of the year, by the way. He has never had a 3-homer game. This is the 5th time that he's hit 2 in 1 ball game in his career. 0-1 delivery. Adam will take it inside for a ball.
Blank can work his fastball in and out. 4-seamer, 2-seamer, nothing overpowering. Barely get over 90 miles an hour.
LeBlanc owns a 1-0 record against the Orioles in 2 games pitched, 3 runs, 10 hits, 12 2/3 innings. Well, LeBlanc has been up against the O's more than most other members of this pitching staff. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Adam Jones 0 for 6 off this left-hander. 1-2 delivery to him.
He's the type of left-handed that will brush you off the plate a little bit, get you to move your feet, and then throw that fish out there on the outside corner. A little change.
That's going to be a base hit into left field. Adams going to want 2 on this. Frazier's going over to get it. He'll make a turn. He's got to stay. Frazier got it in. So Adam Jones delivers a 1-out single here in the 10th.
A nice piece of hit by Adam, and a deep breath when he gets to first base. Had some problems with that right leg. The left leg at times. Look at him stay on the changeup though. That is exactly what he was expecting. Down and away with the change, but uses the legs to go down and get it. Impressive piece of hitting by the captain.
So let's see if the Orioles can get him around to be the game-winning run. Manny Machado has had an 0 for 4 in the ball game. Machado 0 for 3 off the left-hander LeBlanc. Trumbo on deck, 1 out. Manny into the screen. So the bullpen for the Pirates, the 2 runs picked up off Watson, the closer. For the Orioles, just 1 run off the pen, Darren O'Day. Gosman and Nova the starters, indeed. 0-1 pitch. And he will take a breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner.
Take a look at the pitch here from LeBlanc. Cut fastball working across the plate. Ends up just in offside that inside corner, but he's been generous there.
Manny Machado down on the count 0-2. Jones back to the bag. LeBlanc steps off. Shift on against Manny. Second baseman behind the bag. Goes the other way, foul off the end. A cue shot.
That's it. Do what you can. Keep fighting. Keep this at bat going. You find yourself some outfield grass or a mistake. Manny Machado, Jonathan Scope, Trumbo, Jones, all the long limbs, so they can reach out sometimes when they get fooled. Give them a little extra chance to keep that bat head through the zone.
Pirate outfield, no doubles defense, very deep. 0-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be outside. So Manny watches one tail away. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Looking for a game winner. Jaso holding the bag at first.
Just a little let me know I'm thinking about you move right there. Adam Jones real short lead at first base, but making up the ground on his secondary lead. Hanging tight, but really bouncing off there.
LeBlanc with a 1-2 delivery. Manny fouls that one back. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Orioles, so if this thing does go on, looks like Brad Brock will get a second inning of work if needed.
Yeah. Many arms left down there. Mike Wright's down there.
Yep. Jimenez, who got up to warm up earlier.
Yeah, Baldo, sure.
Still 1-2. Manny puts it up in the air. Left field. Back near the wall. And caught right at it. Frazier went back. Jones will tag up and move to second base. Manny missing a game winner by that much.
Oh, man. Good 2-strike pass right there, sending Frazier all the way back to the wall, and he just waited for it. Take a look here. High pitch. Manny chasing it up and out of the zone. It's a good part of the bat on it. Certainly had the height. Right there. Inches away.
Can't get any closer than that. Frazier played it well, found the wall.
How about on the back end, though? Adam Jones making the tag, getting himself in a scoring position. Could be the decider right there.
If it's caught, he knows he can get a base. And if it's not going to be caught, it's going over the wall. So get back there and tag up. Right?
Yeah.
All right, Mike Trumbull with a base hit can end it. Looking for a game-winning RBI. 0 for 3 in the game with a walk. Orioles DH. And he'll take the pitch away for a ball.
Well, Mark Trumbo opening day back on April 3rd against the Blue Jays. Taking the veteran Greeley deep. A walk-off piece with the home run. Gonna try to do the same here.
Fly ball by Machado brought a lot of people to their feet. Now they want to come up one more time. Trumbo up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Adam Jones coming home. McCutchen, here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. The Orioles win it. Mark Trumbo with a game-winning RBI base hit. And the O's take game 1 against the Pirates.
Good stuff right there by the Orioles. Obviously the big clutch hit by Mark Trumbo, but great base running by Adam Jones, tagging on the deep fly ball to Manny Machado. Sets it up, and here it is. Pitch away, and Trumbo reaching out, touching this one. Sending it right back through the box. Base hit to McCutchen out in center field. Look at that extension. Out getting himself some. Adam Jones at second base after the great tag. There's going to be a play. McCutchen with the throw in, but Adam Jones sliding in for the game winner. The excitement from the captain. Big time win there by the Orioles.
So the Orioles improve their extra inning mark to 8-1. They're 11-8 in one-run games. Pirates go 10-11 in one-run affairs, and in extra inning ball games now 5-5. Mark Trumbo comes through. He makes Brad Brock a winner, as Brad is now 1-1. Wade LeBlanc will suffer the loss in relief. He is 3-1 on the year, and the Orioles with a dramatic comeback. 6-5 the final. Mike Trumbull, the game-winning RBI. Mark, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, do you know what to expect from LeBlanc? I mean, you haven't seen this ball club or these pitchers. So what do you do when you go up against him?
Well, in that situation, I was just trying to do what it took to get the job done. No point in taking a huge swing. I wanted to stay short to give me something to work with. Kind of do what I did.
How about the base running by Adam Jones in that situation, tagging on the deep fly ball to Machado?
That made all the difference. Adam does a great job anyway. Gives it his all, and he's really smart when it comes to stuff like that. Like that. Took advantage of an opportunity, and it helped us.
You get to see a young player we do here, Jonathan Scope, developing, Mark. I mean, he's come through with so many late seventh inning on RBIs. He's becoming a very clutch player.
Yeah, he's coming into his own. I mean, he's a premier talent. The power obviously is really showing up tonight, but he's staying within himself. He's playing smart baseball, and I've seen a nice adjustment. Even he had a great year last year, but this one looks even better.
So down 4-1. I mean, no panic at all in the locker room, in the dugout. Just kind of going about your business, kind of waiting on the big hits.
Well, you can put it that way. Nova did a good job. I mean, he's having a nice season. Hits are hard to come by sometimes. He's got a great sinker, and we were scrapping and doing what we could, but there just wasn't a lot out there, and it ended up working a little later for us.
Indeed it did. Congratulations on a game winner, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. Mike Trumbo came away with a game-winning RBI. Bottom of the 10th inning. The Orioles win it. And a heck of a ball game. 6-5 the final. And the two-game set will conclude quickly. Wade Miley will go against Chad Kuhl tomorrow. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Southwest. Our game coverage will be at 7. This has been a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick standing by. Boy, I'll tell you, a wrap-up of a heck of a ball game where the Orioles had to mount a comeback and did. For Mike Borg and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Adieu.